Seen him yet. And Todd Powers welcoming you to another night of St. X Tiger football. The Tigers start district play tonight against the Pleasure Ridge Park Panthers. Both teams come in here tonight 2-2, Tony, but it's a vastly different 2-2. This is not the same PRP team we've seen for the last several years.
No, John, it's not. And the Panthers are kind of rebuilding. They've we really thought they were one of the best teams last year, and they were a tough out. But this year, Coach Williams and the Panthers trying to get themselves on track here in the district play.
Coach Tommy Williams' team has defeated Valley 37-6 and Eastern 21-14, but big losses to Bowling Green 44-7 and North Hardin 41-14. And if you play the common opponent game, which doesn't always tell you the truth, St. X took Bowling Green to overtime before they lost right here. PRP got clocked by the Purples, and that tells me St. X should be a prohibitive favorite here tonight in game 1 of district play.
Yeah, I would believe so. I think if you're rating the district, that PRP would probably in the preseason poll be 5th, and St. X would have been 1 or 2 with Mail. It's an interesting game tonight because it's a different season when you start district play. So both of these teams are 0-0 coming in here tonight, and this is the biggest game they'll play so far this year.
4th consecutive home game for the Tigers after the season opening loss at DeSales. They escaped last week 20-19 against a very good Central team. And I think people kind of overlook that Central team like they do just about every year. But that's a talented football team St. X escaped against last week.
Boy, we saw some great quickness last week. The quarterback, Goodall, super quick, as quick a guys you'll see all year. Central defense, they have a lot of talent on that team. They are a factor. They're going to be a big-time factor in 3A.
They had 2 pick sixes last week against the Tiger. And when those 2 guys intercepted, the 2 different guys, they were gone because speed kills, and it killed on their defense.
And the one was a kind of deflected pass off a St. X receiver that was snatched by one hand, made it all over Twitter, the touchdown. But Tigers held on, won the football game, and then tonight they get in here and get a chance again here at Brother Thomas More Field.
And it's a Tiger team, Tony, that's trying to get healthy again. Keegan Sullivan, expected to be the starting quarterback, of course, broke his left thumb, non-throwing hand in the Simon Kenton scrimmage. He's played some in some games. He hasn't played in some games. He missed the entire DeSales game, which was a loss. But he's been really good when he's been in there, and we expect him to be in there most of the night tonight.
Yeah, they basically split time, him and Douglas Bodine. And Bodane's actually done a good job when he's been in the game, but for the Tigers to go far, they'll need Keegan Sullivan. And he's only thrown 51 passes so far this year. He's completed 35 of them, 2 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. But he is the reason this offense will go, and hopefully he will be completely healthy for the rest of the year, actually.
Tiger running game got some help last week from Miles Harris, from Logan Davis, but Anthony Moretti, who sat out with concussion-like symptoms last week, expected to be back tonight. And he's a guy that had a great year last year. He has struggled. A lot of that's got to do with the offensive line, but it's district play now. Do we expect him to pick it up?
I think so, and I think one of the reasons you'll see him pick it up, John, is when Keegan Sullivan gets into the flow of the game and can throw the ball down the field. That will open up running lanes for Moretti. And the offensive line's getting better. Miles Harris had a really nice game last week, over 100 yards. And I think you'll see as Moretti is healthy, the offensive line improves, that you will see much more and more positive things out of Anthony Moretti.
Speaking of that offensive line, Cade Parham will be out tonight. Turner Ferris will jump into that spot. An offensive line that struggled admittedly early, but they got a lot better the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it's a learning. You talked about 5 guys that started last year that were seniors, and maybe one of the best all-time, in my opinion, St. X offensive lines. They made it to the state finals, but they were all seniors, and they didn't play a lot of guys. And I think you always have to think about that during the season, about getting young guys in there and getting them reps, and they're getting their reps, and they're learning on the fly.
I call it a mash unit at wide receiver. Andre Coleman is out tonight again with the ankle injury. We're not sure about Bryce Harkins. He was listed number 1 on the depth chart, but I don't think Coach Wallace wants to play him unless he absolutely has to tonight.
Well, Bryson Harkins came back into the game the other night, and he was very much limping. You could tell it. But he's a guy they need. But once again, you're right. It's a whole season. It's just not one game.
The defense has been pretty healthy. They've escaped the injury bug
Knock on wood.
most of the year. James Taylor, I noticed, not dressed tonight. He is dealing with an injury. Backup cornerback, I guess the number 3 cornerback on this team. But that has been a strength, that defensive backfield.
Oh, it definitely has. And a lot of senior depth back there, the corners, both seniors who have played, Andrew Zabagu and Pate. The 2 safeties, in my opinion, are as good as you're going to get with Carlin and Borman. And then they've played, D'Antoni's played well. They've used Taylor as a backup, even though he's not going to play tonight. So depth has been a strength of that defensive backfield.
And if don't be surprised tonight if you see a little more with the wide receivers injuries bug hitting that core. Don't be surprised tonight to see a lot more of Desmond Andrews-Abagu and even some Jude Carlin, I was told by Coach Kevin Wallace yesterday, on the offensive side of the ball as a receiver. It's just pretty much next man up, right?
Yeah, and that's what it is. You know, everybody gets injuries. Everybody gets dinged up. That's why you got to control your depth, get your guys ready to go, and hopefully tonight Tigers get away from the injury bug, which they had the last time.
Well, the rain came through about an hour ago, an hour and 10 minutes ago, and Tony, we could not see outside of the press box. It was raining so hard. We think it's gone. We hope it's gone. Both teams are out on the field warming up. Still some puddles in the end zone, on the track, out past the end zone, but I think we're going to be okay the rest of the night, at least knock on wood. We've had some interesting weather this year so far.
We have, and there was actually 2 torrential downpours came through here, but luckily it's turf. And when you're on this pro turf, it drains. It does not come an issue. If we were playing this game at PRP, boy, we'd just have a quagmire on that field. We'd be underwater, but the sky is actually fairly blue right now. So hopefully we'll get this game in tonight without any weather.
So how long do you think Jim Brinkman sat in the parking lot waiting for the rain to stop before he decided to come up?
They might not have let him in with the future Tigers.
Oh, yeah, he used his school ID, and they said, no, you got to go home, right? But he is here now. That's the good news, sports fans. Jim Brinkman will be with us down on the field, at least until it starts sprinkling again. Then maybe he'll head back to his car. We will take a break, come back, talk about some of the other games in town, let you know what's going on. District play begins tonight in a big part of the city, in a big part of the state of Kentucky. Anybody with 5 teams in their district, like St. X and PRP, going to be playing district action tonight. We'll go over some of those games with you. All that and more. We are about 18 minutes away from kickoff, PRP and St. X. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hello, everybody.
Radio Network.
Check.
Thanks for showing up.
Can you please turn up the volume?
Don't forget to tune in to Louisville
On who?
First, our morning show on weekdays, 7 to 10
You can't hear?
on 790 a.m. These broadcasts
I don't know where to turn it up,
are
Jimmy, to be honest with you.
Fast marketing communication services we offer at the
Is there
Bissig Impact. Give us a call at
Is there anywhere to turn it up there?
582-0333 or visit
It's all right, all the way up?
Bissig.com. The Bissig Impact Group. Innovative
This is not you.
integrated Marketing.
Hello, John Spears.
Wait a
here
minute,
for
wait a minute.
M&M Cartage, a family-owned transportation company
Check
since
1 2.
1972.
Check 1 2. Check
46
1 2.
years of experience.
That's just your volume. That's not your
listen.
listen.
Wife Denise, specializing in logistical services, freight shipping,
That's
warehousing,
up.
and more.
That's
Companies
up.
nationwide. Contact
That's-
St. X
don't
alum
touch
Don
that.
Hayden, class of 80, or Rob
Huh?
Burke, class of 90 at 502-456-4586, or visit mmcartage.com
Where am I?
for more information. M&M
Left
Cartage,
or right?
leader in regional
Right here?
transportation and logistics.
Well, that's just his volume talking to us.
Are you thinking of taking a cruise or quick weekend escape?
What about master
Knights Travel
volume
can
there?
meet all your travel needs.
Oh.
Knights Travel is Louisville's premier full-service
Check,
travel
check,
agency
1 2. Is
specializing
that better?
in customized
Okay.
vacations.
Yeah, that
For more
doesn't.
information, visit knightstravel.com.
Let me see
or
where that
contact
was.
St. X alum Luke Conklin at 292.
Yeah, that was about. Yeah, that was down a little bit. Is that better? Check 1 2. Okay.
And Tara made a point to me that his, when he comes on,
Hey, St. X fans.
Go ahead.
is
district play underway. Another big district game here tonight is Mail and Butler. Tony Burke over out in Shively on Crumbs Lane as the Butler Bears 4-1. Their only loss to DeSales on a Hail Mary. And Mail is 5-0, and they look like they are taking no prisoners this year.
Yeah, Mail is a team that I read about. A lot of speed, not real big, but boy, they've played great defense. If you ask me, it looks like they're the best team around right now. So tonight, Butler gets an opportunity to go in there. Butler gets the transfer from DeSales healthy tonight, Jordan Watkins.
Yep.
And they have some talent. So it'd be interesting what happens over there on the dirt campus tonight at Mail High
No, it's at Butler.
Oh, it's at Butler
Yeah,
tonight? I thought
South
it was,
End.
oh, my bad.
South End game. It'll be a quagmire either place if it rained like it did here. Butler can score points. The problem is they've given up some points as well. That's a different in Mail. They don't give up any points. Chris Wolf's team really has it going on pretty well. Now, they lost Henry Vestal, their starting running back early in the year, but that didn't affect their defense.
No,
Held
no.
Trinity to 3 points.
Yeah, when you hold Trinity to 3, you've basically shut everybody down that you've played this year. Coach Wolf does a great job at Mail, and the Bulldogs are going to be reckoned with. And tonight will be a good test, I think, to where Butler's at compared to the teams in the district.
St. X will play PRP tonight. Then they got their non-district grudge match against Trinity next week. Then the Manual Crimsons come here. So, in theory, Tony, both teams, both St. X and Mail, could be 2-0 in district. 3 weeks from tonight, that game will be at the old Durrett campus, as you like to call it, Mail High School, and that could basically be for the district championship.
Yeah, and it probably will be unless something derails that. But always interesting every year. This is the first district game is the most important game of the year. Next week, the St. X Trinity game is for bragging rights. You want to win. It's important to the alumni and to the kids, but the district games are the big ones, and tonight starts district play.
Manual out of district tonight. They will host Seneca over on, what is that, Burnett?
Yes, sir.
Over on Burnett Avenue.
Emmanuel Stadium.
Emmanuel Stadium.
Burnett, we're checked.
Hosting a winless Seneca team, and quite frankly, a bad Seneca team. Manual should roll in that game. Big game at Eastern tonight, Ballard and Eastern, Tony. Basically, that game probably for second place in the Trinity District.
And you expect Ballard to handle Eastern with things going. Actually, an early score from over at Butler High School. Mail leads 3-0 in the first quarter.
Kicked a field goal in the quagmire. That's pretty impressive.
Maybe it didn't rain that hard out at Butler.
As far as the Catholic schools tonight, Trinity is taking on the J-Town Chargers. I've been saying this for 4 weeks now, but we certainly expect Trinity to get their first win tonight at home against J-Town.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt there.
DeSales has an interesting game tonight, Tony. Lexington Catholic, who's 3-1, coming to town to take on the undefeated DeSales Colts.
Yeah, Bo Allen, Division I prospect, throws the ball really well for Catholic. They lost last week to Highlands. That will be a very entertaining game over there, and they're lucky, too, that DeSales has such a nice complex like St. X with the turf field. So the field should not be an issue.
We will take a break, come back and hear from the head coach of the Tigers. Kevin Wallace will join us. You're listening to St. X High School Football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
75.
We got to turn ourselves down.
Companies, the Don F. Hinkabine Company, filled with St. X boys like Chris and Alex. We love our Tigers, and DFH loves serving you with your HVAC needs with heating and air conditioning. Call them at 968.
Here with Coach Wallace in 3, 2, 1.
Every time. It's DFH for heating and air conditioning. 968-6222. They're online at dfhcompany.com. Go St. X!
Hey, it's Jamie Miller, St. X alum, class of 85 with Glen Oaks Country Club. Are you looking for a membership at a private country club? You can do that at Glen Oaks starting at just $49 a month. Are you not sure but want to try Glen Oaks?
They can track that too,
You
Tom.
can do that through our loyalty club, which allows up to 10 rounds per year. We have a wide array of offerings appealing to golfers.
I don't know if
with
Chris
different
Wolf
needs.
put that on the
Come out for a
chalkboard.
round of golf and then
Butler
enjoy
had
our
one
large
cheer from St.
selection
X's
of
press
house-made
box.
suit
Well,
items.
let's kill 'em.
Visit glenoakscountryclub.com or call 339.
So they started early over there, huh?
Come join us.
Do you wish we started at 7? I kind of do.
what they had last year. Obviously, we played them when I was at Bowling Green last year, so they still have talented players. Maybe not as many as what they had, and much like us, I don't think that the sum equals the parts. They haven't figured out exactly what they're best at doing, and I'm not throwing rocks at them for that, because I think that's part of our struggle right now. Is that I don't think we're as good as we can be either. For them, I hope it takes another week for them to figure it out. For us, I hope we can figure it out pretty quickly.
Have you seen improvement in the last
In
week or
certain
two?
places, I'd have. I think that number one, obviously, our special teams play has gotten a whole lot better than where it was in week one. Our offensive line showed glimpses last week of playing better. We're still a little inconsistent in pass protection. I think that given the fact that we had to play so many people that weren't necessarily starters in our offensive skill positions, that we got better play than maybe what I expected. We're going to have to go through that again tonight. We'll have 3 wide receivers sitting. Starting tight end is really questionable. Kind of doubt that he'll play. We lost a guard during practice this week, so there's 5 guys that play an awful lot of offense for us that are going to stand over with us. So you talk to kids all the time about you never know when it's your turn, that you're sprained ankle away from playing, and they're seeing the reality of that this week.
It's a mash unit over here. Talk to me about, Zach Johnson, you mentioned that's the tight end who probably won't play. Parham, I saw in your notes, is out as well. Moretti, I'm assuming, is back. And
Moretti's
Bryson
back.
Harkins, where's he stand?
Bryson Harkins and Andre Coleman will probably dress, but I have very serious doubts that either one of them will play, because yesterday they did not have full capability of running and cutting at full speed, and I don't want to put them out to where I just put them out on the field. It puts them in bigger danger. Now, we've grabbed Dez quite a bit more this week. We actually grabbed Jude Carlin this week, and we've got a small package of things that we think Jude can do for us. He can't go play every down, but we're at a point where we have to do that, because we've got to take some talent, have some talented kids to throw the football to, and I'm glad we had the time to do that, because we're just in a little bit more of a narrow mode there in terms of what our personnel looks like at the wide receiver position.
Cade Parham's out. Do you move the whole line around, or
we'll
is it
play Turner Ferris at guard. I think Happel will play some. Turner has been playing a lot, rotating with Jack Hummel anyway. So it's almost like you've got a 6th starter that moves in, and I think obviously Cole becomes the 6th guy now, and we're just we knew we were going to be thin in the offensive line to begin with. We just don't have many linemen in comparison to the years in the past, but we got to hope that we can stay healthy. We certainly don't want to go a whole lot deeper than maybe 2 more. Then it gets into where you're kind of scratching your head a little bit. I think it's easier to go grab a DB and teach him how to do a few things at wide receiver than it would be to go grab a defensive lineman, and now he's got to learn all the terminology and all the verbiage of what we're trying to do offensively. And it's the language as much as it is the technique that would be difficult to do. It's that's really tough. So hopefully we can stay healthy, get healthy. I don't think Cade's injury is something that's going to be long lasting. It's just a back issue, and I think it's going to clear up. There's a possibility he could play Friday, but I doubt it.
I knock on wood when I say this. Is the defense pretty healthy?
Defense has just got your normal after week 4 bumps and bruises.
Good.
Other than that, we're in pretty good shape.
You had to feel good. You mentioned special teams. You had to have a special good feeling for Jeff Sexton last
Well, the loneliest guys in Louisville, Kentucky after the DeSales game and after the Bowling Green game were probably Jeff Sexton and Kevin Wallace. So, I put my arm around him real
Birds
good.
of a feather.
Yeah, I put my arm around him real good in front of the team the other night when we got back in there, and it was really one of those heartwarming moments when the entire team stood up and applauded him, because it's not just that he made field goals. It's all of us know he's died inside, because nobody wanted to hit those things more than he did, and we've all seen him work. We know that he comes to work every day. He's not a guy that's here for 5 minutes and is gone. I mean, he really tries to perfect his craft. And we've done a lot of things in the practice over the course of the last couple of weeks to try to bring pressure to the situations of kicking, whether it's punting or PATs or extra points, but nothing's like turning the lights on and you've got to kick a field goal that's going to make your team go ahead or stay behind. I can't simulate that. And really proud of Jeff. There's kickers are going to have good days, they're going to have bad days, and they're going to miss some kicks, just like great PGA golfers probably miss a few 5-foot putts. But Friday night was something that's good about sports because that kid deserves something good to happen to him.
Are you prepared for future Tiger Night?
Well, I'm going to roll down there and get right in the middle of it about 6 o'clock and kind of break away from my normal routine. And I just want people to have a great feeling about St. X and a great feeling about what a good place this is and what a great place it can be. And I don't know that it's where I need to be at 6 o'clock, but the one thing I figured out in my travels already of going around places on Saturday and Sunday and watching youth league games is that it's a good thing to have the St. X brand out in front of people and they notice it. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see that next crop.
Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Head Coach Kevin Wallace will be back with the opening kickoff. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Pregame report. Stay right here for
You have no idea how many times, how hard it is not to say head coach Kevin Klein.
Oh, I know.
Hey, St. X fans, Kyle Keurig here. I had LASIK at the eye care.
I've got a coin. KFOA is here.
Tails has a tail on. Find out how you can get a
Hi, Jim.
Hello. You'll never find. Want to make sure I don't muffle.
I'm turning that down.
Maybe he's just a little louder when you turn him up.
PRP deferred. Now let's see if this intro can be over by the kickoff. We got a minute and a half.
We haven't had the national anthem.
Oh, we haven't, have we?
I'd say maybe because of the water.
There's this like date setting that won't go wet. Yeah, it says send date and time and it won't go away.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Brother Thomas More Stadium, where tonight the PRP Panthers will take on your St. Xavier Tigers. At this time, we ask you to stand. Gentlemen, please remove your hats.
Campus of St. Xavier High School. Tigers open district play tonight with a PRP squad, both teams 2-2, and right now, time for our national anthem. Both teams come in tonight, as I mentioned, 2-2. It's a different kind of 2-2. Tigers on a 2-game winning streak. The Panthers, last time out, they took the loss to North Hardin. That is 2 weeks ago, so the Panthers with a week off to trying to get ready for district play. One guy we failed to mention in the pregame, Tony, was Zach Johnston. He is out tonight, and that's a guy that does a lot of different things for this Tiger team.
Yeah, Johnny's a guy that blocks very well from the tight end spot. They put him at the H-back, and then they'll use him as a receiver, a good target. He's been good all year long, and he's banged up too. Tigers look like more like a mash unit ending last week, so we'll see what happens.
Jim Brinkman, you were there for the coin toss. Tell me what happened, and tell me the rain's gone too.
Oh, I think the rain is gone. PRP won the toss and deferred their decision to the second half. So for the first time in 3 weeks, the St. X Tiger offense will start this game on the field. Be exciting to see how they put points up early on this Panther defense.
And Tony, interesting right away, we get a different look. Desmond Andrews-Agbagu goes deep for the Tigers. Of course, Coleman and Harkins both nursing ankle injuries. Kick is high but short. Harrison Pate will watch it go out of bounds, and that went out of bounds really early.
Well, the Tigers will get it at the 35 unless it went out before that, and they're going to say it went out on the 30. So Tigers will take the ball at the 35 to start this football game.
And Keegan Sullivan will be the quarterback, at least to start this one for the Tigers. Sullivan, 6'2", 179-pound senior. St. X will start in the huddle. All black tonight with the green numerals. That's fun for a play-by-play guy. Yellow trim, PRP in all white jerseys. Black numerals with red trim. Much easier to read, I must say. Jalen Borho will get the start at tight end with Johnston out. Tigers starting a shotgun.
Miles Harris.
And it is Miles Harris at running back. Play action over the middle, wide open. Diving catch, nice play from Eric Lyons, co-captain tonight, out across the 45. And if he's hit in stride and keeps his feet, he might go.
Yeah, it was just a little quick fake, get it out quick, and he was wide open across the X. Throwing him maybe a little too hard, and Eric Lyons trips a little bit, but the ball gets out to the 47-yard line.
Gain of 12 and a first down for the Tigers on their first play. Sullivan sends two receivers to the right. The sophomore Grant Goodwin is the widest. Handoff, running left is Harris. Nowhere to go. Hit and dropped by Aaron Moss, the linebacker. Maybe a yard for Harris, who had a pretty good game last week.
Offensive line, Knable at center, Ferris and Hummel at guards. Evan Brown and Parker Noah at the tackles.
And Turner Ferris, the new name in there with Cade Parham nursing an injury, expected to be back next week. Three receivers to the right. That's the wide side of the field. Luke Wheatley in the slot that way with Andrews-Agbagu. Now Borho in motion, goes from left and resets from the right to the left. Play action. Keegan, first option not there. Now he's rolling left, has time, and just throws it out of bounds. Pressure came, did not want to take the loss. It'll be 3rd and 9.
And, John, I'm watching the wide receivers. They have to learn to come back to the football. They did it last week. He had plenty of time. Waited, then he went to the left. No receivers there, but I watched the receivers. They're still running down the field looking for the ball. They have to come back for it.
3rd down, 9. Flag on the play. There is a flag, and they're moving the Tiger offense back. They're going to call intentional grounding here, Tony. Well, Jim Brinkman, it doesn't matter if you're out of the pocket in high school, does it?
He's having trouble.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, John.
Does it matter if you're out of the pocket in high school?
No, it doesn't. It's whether or not you're avoiding the sack and if there is an eligible receiver in the area.
So now it's 3rd down and 19 for the Tigers, back at the 39. Sullivan in the shotgun. He's got Harris with him. Takes a snap. Has time. Still looks over the middle and getting there at the same time as the ball intended for Wheatley was the co-captain Keshawn Beasley, and he put a hit on Luke Wheatley and knocked the ball out of there at the same time. It is 4th down for the Tigers.
And Sullivan had time to throw the ball there. Ball's thrown in a short post pattern, and the safety Beasley comes up and makes the hit on the pass. So Tigers will punt it away on their first possession.
Deep man without a number here. We'll check all of the 6 rosters that we got from Pleasure Ridge Park. Austin Tiggy will kick it away. Good kick. High. fairly deep. Fair catch called for. It bounces at the 30 and goes out of bounds on the PRP sideline. It is a 32-yard kick with no return. The Panthers will start at their own 29-yard line. The quarterback is Aaron Kinnebrew. Kinnebrew is a 5'10". The quarterback is Maurice Soja, a junior, 6'2", 185. Kinnebrew is a leading offensive player on the team. Straight drop, wanting to throw, quick throw, tipped into the air. Ball is loose. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Alex Bascom got a hand on it, knocked it to the turf, then chased it down, I guess thinking, well, maybe they think it's a fumble. It was a late whistle. I will say that.
It was, but the two twins at 6'5", that makes it get those arms up, get it in the passing lane, and Panthers come out and try to throw it on first down. They take over at their own 29. So first pass of the game by the Panthers knocked down.
2nd and 10. Soldier has 2 in the backfield with him, 2 receivers to the left. Quick throw and slant, knocked into the air and picked off. Tackled inside the 25-yard line.
Patrick Owen
intercepted it. I think it
Bascom
may have been.
I think Bascom got it again, John.
It may have been Bascom again. Big turnover early in this game, and the Tigers will start at the PRP 22. So 2 plays, 2 passes, 2 deflections.
Well, the ball got batted up in the air that time into a group of people, and looked like Tigers were going to get it originally. Then it looked like it was going to go to the ground, but Patrick Owen hangs on to it, and now the Tigers get the ball at the Panther 22-yard line, 1st and 10.
I had no doubt that was going to hit the turf.
I did too, because it was just getting knocked around.
You got a bunch of linebackers trying to pick it off.
And D linemen.
Usually it's going to the turf. Sullivan, he's got Harris behind him in the shotgun. Give it to Miles, running left. Big hole, jumped over a tackler, got inside the 20. The hole closed quickly by Darius Yates, but it's a gain of about 4 down to the 18. 2nd down and 6.
Left side of that line doing a pretty good job. Turner Ferris and Parker No.
Lions will go slot to the left with Wheatley. Andrews, Abagu, and Lyons wide to the right. And Moretti is slotted that way as well, empty backfield on 2nd and 6. Sullivan taking his time, takes a snap. Throw to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, St. X Tigers, Andrews at Bagu. Well, it was a zone defense, Tony, and they just found the seam.
They went right over the corner, and the safety didn't get over in time. And Keegan Sullivan threw that ball right on a dime. Threw it when you wanted to throw it. You get rid of it early before the safety can come over. You get that soft spot in the zone, and Tigers go on the board after the interception by Patrick Owen. 9:46, first quarter. Tigers lead 6-0. Jeff Sexton on to attempt the extra point.
And that was so quick that Keegan Sullivan didn't give me time to say the Tigers were in the green zone for the first time. Low snap. Carlin gets it down. Sexton does a good job to get it in the air, and it's good. 7-0 Tigers. 9:46 to go. First quarter, you're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
For over 20 years, Signs Now has been
So, Jimmy, you're still having trouble hearing me, huh?
Yeah, I'm on my 3rd set of headsets, and these, I mean, it's like night and day. I can hear you now.
You good now? Okay.
I'm real good now.
Okay, cool. Who tipped that in the air? Did you see or did you hear?
No, I didn't, but Patrick Owen was awfully happy.
I bet he was. We'll yeah, you know, it was one of those where it's just you figure it's going to fall.
Well, it's probably good it was Patrick Owen.
It is Kelly is that returner's name.
What's the number?
22, Zach Kelly.
Okay.
I don't even, he's not deep here. 9's deep here. Kashawn Beasley. Is it Kashawn or Kayshawn?
Kayshawn. That's what I would say.
Pretty good kick. He kept it in play. Back at St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. Kashawn Beasley on the kick return gets out across the 20. Did a good job of keeping it in the field of play. Took it at the 1. And PRP will start at about the 25-yard line. Jim Brinkman, that was a great pass that time from Sullivan to Andrews Abago.
Oh yeah, you know. Obviously, we talked all last week about all the injuries racking up, and having Desmond being able to go in there and get the Tigers on the board immediately. Hey, 7-0 Tigers. Let's go.
A turnover turns directly into points 2 plays later. Here's a draw play up the middle. Not much there. Getting back to the line of scrimmage and then maybe a yard to the 26 is Aaron Kinnebrew. Leading rusher for the Bears, for the Panthers, or the Bears, whoever they are. It's a gain of 1. Richard Bascom credited with the tackle. Give him a couple. It'll be second down. Well, it's 2nd and 9. Gain about a yard and a half.
Well, actually, Kinnebrew did a good job. It was a draw play, and Tigers had good penetration. That's not a play I think I would want to run. Tigers got good penetration, but Kinnebrew gets a yard, and it was actually a good 1-yard run.
Elijah Reed comes wide to the left. That's the wide side. There are 3 receivers to the short side of the field. Looking right, throwing right, caught, hit immediately and dropped is Beasley across the 41. It was Jude Carlin who's flexing that right arm. He delivered the shot, but he took one himself from Beasley out to the 41-yard line on a first down for the Panthers.
Well, Maurice Soldier right on the money. Kind of not the same pass Tigers threw for the touchdown, but kind of in that crease. And they get the first down.
Man in motion from left to right. Oh, that was dangerous. And movement on the PRP offense. The snap almost hit James Schultz as he was in motion. Wouldn't have mattered. It's 1st and 15.
From out in Shavley, second quarter score, the Bulldogs and Mail 10, the Butler Bears 0.
I've got to say, I kind of expected it. 5-yard penalty on the Panthers. Moves the ball back to the 36. And it'll be first down and 15 for Tommy Williams' team. Kinnebrew in the backfield. 4 receivers in the pattern. Low snap, quarterback keeper, and not much there. Fighting for yardage. Great job by Soja that time to turn nothing into something. He got out to the 38-yard line. Gain of about 2. And really, there was nothing there.
Yeah, I think Bowler got him first down low. Bascom helped out, and then a bunch of Tigers. So looking at 2nd and 13. Tigers lead 7-0 here in the first quarter. Just about 8 minutes left here in the first quarter.
2 receivers to the right. Beasley comes to the left. Kinnebrew in the backfield. Play action to him. Throwing to the right and through the outstretched hands of Schultz. And the closest Tiger there, I believe, was Sam Borman. It'll be 3rd down and long for the Panthers. That one didn't have a chance of being caught.
Yeah, Cameron Sams was there, and it was just Soja kind of forced it in there. And luckily, if you're a Panther fan, the ball just kind of deflects up in the air and goes incomplete.
Daniel Yates, actually, Jim Brinkman texts us, is in at quarterback now, so it's not Soja. No, it is Soja, number 6. He's in there. So Yates was in, but Soja back in there now on 3rd down and 13. 3 to the right, 2 to the left, empty backfield. Tigers bring 4. They don't get there. Pass dropped by Schultz. He was going to be tackled short of the first down. Houlihan was there. Jake D'Antoni was there. It'll be 4th down, and the Panthers will have to kick it away.
And at that time, I think Soja could have tucked the ball and took off running with it. He threw it behind his receiver on the crossing pattern. So we'll see PRP punt for the first time.
Patrick Clary will kick it away.
Boy, he's deep, isn't he?
He is 17 yards. Well, no, he's about.
No, I'm talking about the Tiger.
Grant Goodman, the sophomore, is deep, standing back inside his 30. Tigers may be coming after this. Ball's dropped, and Clary's hit. Ball's picked up at the 24, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Tigers. That is D'Antoni. 24-yard fumble return for the touchdown.
So Jake D'Antoni, the junior, gets a nice gift handed to him. The snap not handled very well by the Panther punter. As he tries to pick it up and run, Tigers hit him, and D'Antoni's gets the gift, and he walks into the end zone with 7:40 left in the first quarter. Tigers now lead 13-0. Jeff Sexton coming on for the extra point.
I think the snap was a little bit to the side, Tony,
it was.
But it wasn't low, it wasn't high, and Clary's got to catch that.
Yeah, and I think he got excited, and then that's the worst thing that can happen to you.
Sexton in for the extra point. Jude Carlin, as always, will hold. This is a better snap, a little inside again. But doesn't matter, kicks up and good. 14-0 Tigers with 7:40 left here in the first quarter. And Jimmy, if you can hear me, and I know you're on your 3rd set of headphones now, but if you can hear me, I think that's a snap that the punter's got to handle.
Yeah, a lot of times you give me grief defending the referees, and I got to defend, the punters.
Okay,
It should be, at chest high in the middle of your chest, but it wasn't. But, yeah, you need to just take a step over, anticipate a bad snap, and so you can catch the ball and then proceed with your 1 step or 2 steps, whatever you're doing. If you're doing 3 steps, well, you're blocked, and, the pep band is playing the other team's fight song. And that's what basically went on with the Rage Cage. D'Antoni picked up the ball and returned it. And, guys, this might be a recipe for success here for St. X. Defense, jumps on these turnovers and offense converts.
Sexton boots it away. This one's going to come down shorter, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. Beasley took a chance there, because if it takes a left turn, it stays inbounds, but took a right turn, went out of bounds at about the 10. So PRP will start at their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Tigers go 3 and out to start the game. Then they get a couple of deflections and interception. Score from there. Bad special teams from the Ridge allows the Tigers another quick score. And all of a sudden you're in a big hole if you're Tommy Williams.
Yeah, John, Coach Williams couldn't this is the worst thing that could have happened to him, and now Panthers take over to their own 35, ready to go.
Soja has got Kennebrew with him. He will hand it to Kennebrew running left, and there is just nowhere to go. I mean, he ran into a team picture of the St. X defense. Cameron Sams came up from linebacker. So did Hale Bowler to make the tackle. But the big nose tackle, Brendan Petrie, was there, and they weren't moving him. 2nd and long.
Yeah, Tigers up front doing a nice job of just standing up the PRP offensive line.
Jack Varga got the start there, but Brendan Petrie in now at nose tackle, and he makes the play. 2nd and 10, 4 receivers in the pattern. Quick throw to the left. It is caught and hit by Desmond Andrews Agbagu immediately. That is Zach Kelly, the sophomore. Got about 4 yards out to the 39, but Agbagu was right there.
Yeah, just a quick, get it out quickly, try to get it to the receiver and make something happen. But right now, the Panther offense is not getting a whole lot done, and had the 1 first down to Kennebrew, to Beasley on the throw, and now the Tigers trying to keep them in bad field position. The Panthers 3rd and 6 from their own 39-yard line.
3rd and 6 is manageable. It's 3rd and 10 or more that you want to stay out of against this St. X defense. Tigers put 5 at the line of scrimmage here, and you never know who's coming. 2 receivers each way. As Soldier looks it over. They bring 4 up the middle, hit as he throws, caught by Schultz. He's got a 1st down across midfield, and hit and dropped there by Sam Borman. And Schultz is slow to get up. Nice little bubble screen there, and Tigers just didn't get to Soldier quick enough. Another half second, and it's a sack.
Yeah, and they just kind of dumped it off to him, and he just ran to the middle of the field where the Tigers had left the area, and now the Panthers get the ball into St. X territory at the 48-yard line. Tigers lead 14-0 here halfway through the 1st quarter.
It's a gain of 13 for James Schultz, 1st and 10 for PRP, and they're going to take a timeout. They had 12 in the huddle, and Kennebrew was either going to have to come off the field and take the illegal substitution penalty, or Tommy Williams going to have to take a timeout, and he did. Jim Brinkman, what's the future Tiger night look like down there? A lot of little guys?
Oh, not only a lot of little male guys, there's a lot of little Tiger cheerleaders.
They're not male guys. They're St. X guys.
Okay.
Come on now.
Well, I'm talking about male versus female.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I did not get that.
All right. But yeah, there were for the first time I've ever seen it. There were like future Tiger cheerleaders are all dressed in their little white shirts, and they were out cheering before the game.
Hey, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Where's the slide?
Where's the Tiger slide?
Where's the big Tiger slide in the end zone that I like to go down every year?
Well, the rumor is
I broke it. Yeah.
Yes, that's the rumor that I heard from actually a couple of sources.
That's a nasty rumor, and it's probably not true.
Guys, one of the things that we've seen this talented team, one thing that Coach Williams talked about is they have 9 graduates from last year's class that's playing college football right now from PRP. That was a very talented team, but Bishop is not on this team.
Yeah, we certainly remember him. Here's a backward pass caught by Kennebrew, and he is met and dropped.
Zane Peckinpah.
Zane Peckinpah back on the PRP side of the field at the 48. It's going to be a loss of 4. Dangerous play, Tony, when you're throwing a backwards pass to a running back. And I will give Kennebrew some credit just for making that catch.
Yeah, I've never liked that little swing pass when it's behind the quarterback, and if it goes wrong, it's a fumble. But Panthers have the ball. 2nd and 14 after that 4-yard loss.
Kelly and Anthony Delgado come to the left. Actually, 4 receivers that way on 2nd down. They pitch it to Kennebrew, trying to get outside. I don't think that's Kennebrew. I am wrong. Cam Sams makes the tackle. It was Darius Yates in at running back. Not much, maybe a yard. Sams, great pursuit from that middle linebacker spot.
Well, a great job by the outside linebacker over here, Zane Peckinpah. He took on the contact and jammed the play up, and that freed it up for the middle linebacker, Cameron Sams, to run the play down. So a lot of times you don't make the tackle, but you should get an assist for doing your job.
I like that. I'm going to put that on my headstone. Gain of a yard on the play brings up 3rd and 13 for the Panthers. Kennebrew a little confused. He will come over to the slot on the left side. 2 that way, 3 receivers the other way, empty backfield. Tigers show blitz. Now here comes Sams as the blitzer and throwing it. Caught. 1st down and more. Loose is Kennebrew down to the 20 and tackled from behind by Jake D'Antoni. A terrific job that time from Soja to step up into the pocket, and he had a very small window to throw that ball, and he hit him.
Who caught that ball, John?
It was Kennebrew.
It was Kennebrew?
Yeah.
He did a great job of running after the catch. When there was Tigers there, he bounced off a couple guys, and boy, D'Antoni just saved a touchdown by coming across the field and making a tackle. And actually the Panthers had a chance to block D'Antoni and did not do it.
It's a 33-yard pickup on the catch and run from Aaron Kennebrew. 1st and 10. PRP at the St. X 18. Quick throw to the left. It's caught. Good block. Spinning out of a tackle is Delgado, and he's down near the 10, inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line before he's forced out of bounds by Borman and Bowler. It's a gain of 9 on the play to bring up 2nd and 1.
A short passing game right now is working for the PRP Panthers, but we have illegal procedure.
Illegal formation. Yep. And that's a killer if you're PRP. You got a 2nd and 1 at the 9 here, and the one penalty you never need is illegal formation.
Yeah, you got to know where to line up when you set up. And John, the Tigers did a poor job there of tackling on the outside. They had a chance to make that a no-gainer, and one of the Tigers, not throwing anybody under the bus pulling in here, but just dropped his head and didn't make the tackle. But now the Panthers move back to the 23-yard line.
1st and 15. You got to stay ahead of the chains if you're any team.
Especially when you're the underdog.
But if you're the underdog, you have to stay ahead of the chains. And Panthers converted a 3rd and 13 on this drive, but the more you go backwards, the less chance that you're going to convert. Fumble on the play, trying to hand it to Yates. Ball is on the ground. Both teams diving for it. Tigers say they have it, and they do. Jack Varga comes out of there with it. 2nd turnover for the Panthers. And really, if you count the punts, the 3rd turnover for the Panthers.
Yeah, I would say it's the 3rd. The block punt and interception led to a touchdown. And now the Panthers drive all the way down the field. And there's 3:10 left in the 1st quarter. They get a chance. They get an illegal formation, moves them back. Then they fumble the football. And now the Tigers will take over at their own 25-yard line. With 3:10 left in the 1st quarter, Tigers lead 14-0.
Darius Yates never got the football there. It was on the turf quickly. DeSales and Lexington Catholic scoreless after a quarter. Henry County leads Central 7-6 late in the 1st quarter. 1st and 10 Tigers. Harris in the backfield. They give it to him on a sweep running to the left. Cuts back inside and is down inside the 30. Got about 3 on the play to the 28-yard line. Yates, who charged with probably half a fumble on that last play, came up to make the tackle. It's 2nd and 7.
Well, sometimes you don't get credit either for not blocking somebody, and Jalen Borho did a great job of not blocking in the back on the outside. Instead of blocking and losing yardage, he just let the guy go, and the Tigers get 3 yards, which would have cost them a lot more than that.
Shotgun on 2nd and 7. Sullivan, Moretti in the game,
open.
And they're going to throw it to him on the wheel route and overshot him. Coverage on the play was by Aaron Moss, but Moretti had a couple yards on it.
Well, they did a great job up front, the offensive line. Gave Keegan Sullivan time to let Moretti run that wheel route, and he ran right past the guy on the outside. He had him by about 3 yards. Just a little bit more air under the ball by Keegan Sullivan, and Anthony Moretti's got a touchdown. But an incomplete pass.
3rd down and 7 for the Tigers at their own 28-yard line. Sullivan is shotgun. Got Moretti back there with him. Takes a snap. Has time again. Goes over the middle. He's got a receiver at the 41. Caught and dropped immediately. Eric Lyons, his second catch of the first half. And right on his back was Tariq Lee. Gain out to the 43-yard line. That's a pickup of 16 and a first down for the Tigers.
Well, that's Eric Lyons' 11th catch of the year, John. And I know 9 of them have been across the middle. And they might all 11 be across the middle. He runs that quick slant into the inside. They give him time, and they clear, and Eric Lyons gets the first down.
It's actually a 15-yard pickup for Lyons. 1st and 10, Wheatley and Lyons to the left. And now the Tigers confused, I think, here. Going to use a timeout. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We'll get the official call from the official. DeSales has scored on their first play of the second quarter. They lead Lexington Catholic 7-0 over in the south end. What street is that? It's not Kenwood.
Kenwood.
Is it Kenwood? Kenwood Drive. And the Colts trying to stay undefeated as they take on the Lexington Catholic Knights. Well, I know you're looking forward to this. Tigers will be in action Friday night next week. Trinity Shamrocks at, I guess we're just going to call it Cardinal Stadium. Is it now just new Cardinal Stadium?
Might be St. X Cardinal Stadium.
I like
so Coach Glazer called Manuel. He called it Tiger Stadium.
I like M&M Cardinal Stadium, but we're never going to see that.
Yeah, we've been trying.
How about Dilly Dilly Cardinal Stadium? No?
No.
How about Todd Powers Cardinal Stadium and his orchestra?
Todd can flip that bill.
Todd can flip that bill, absolutely. 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 43. 2 receivers, make it 3 in the pattern. Borho comes in motion. They fake it. It's a Bodane in there for the Tigers, Douglas Bodane. Now, Keegan Sullivan's not going to keep that ball, but Bodane will. He goes up the middle for about 5 to the 48-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5. Faked it on the jet sweep to Miles Harris.
Yeah, and I think they might have just wanted to get him in for maybe 3 or 4 plays, maybe try to get the running game going just a little bit. They do the read option when he comes in.
Sullivan standing next to the coach, so this is planned execution here. This time he gives it to Harris, running left, got a first down across the 45 before he is hauled down by a couple of Panthers, led by Moss. But that time Harris gets all the way down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line, a gain of 9 and a first down for the Tigers. 1:20 to go here in the first quarter. 14-0, St. X with the lead. Goodman and Wheatley wide to the right. Borho tight end to the left. In fact, Tigers have 2 tight ends that way. Here's Goodman in motion. They throw the forward pitch to him, and he cuts at the line of scrimmage. Lucky to get a couple, but give Grant Goodman credit, Tony. He did get a couple. He was a yard behind the marker right at the PRP sideline and just stopped on a dime, spun, and basically dove forward for a couple yards.
Yeah, so Bodane completes his first pass of the game. But a Tiger missed a tackle on the outside. One of the tight ends missed a tackle, and then Goodman did it all on his own to get 3 yards.
Goodman and Lyons to the right. Wheatley split wide to the left. Borho tight end to the right on 2nd down, and we'll call it 7. Sullivan back in for the Tigers at quarterback. Got to keep your eyes open with this quarterback situation. Quick throw to the left, diving catch by Eric Lyons. Well short of the first down at about the 36, 37-yard line. It's a gain of about 3. It'll bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Tigers, and that should end the first quarter. 14-0, Tigers lead it. Second quarter coming up. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
In my house, watching the game is a big deal. But
Hate
when
that
it's not
play.
on, getting high quality
I don't
party
hate,
rentals,
well,
It's just there's no
It's too long.
reward to it. It's
Yeah.
too long a
14-0. Tigers with the lead over PRP. 1 quarter in the books. A 18-yard touchdown pass from Keegan Sullivan to Desmond Andrews Abagu, and a 24-yard fumble return by Jake D'Antoni on a punt attempt for a Tiger touchdown. St. X now in PRP territory yet again, facing a 3rd and 4 at the Ridge 37-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, that's the short side. Luke Wheatley alone to the left. Sullivan's got Harris with him, faked it to Harris, through the slant, off the hands of Eric Lyons. Pretty good coverage that time by Zach Kelly, but Eric had a shot at it, just couldn't haul it in. It's 4th down. The Tigers at the 37. Now they got a couple options here, Tony. You can pin them down or you can go, and it looks like they're going to go.
Yeah, I thought they would, and Tigers are going to go to the spread formation.
They have 3 to the left. Wheatley is the widest there, 2 to the right. Good snap. Keegan throws over the middle. Wide open at the 23, and walking into the end zone is Anthony Moretti. 37 yards on the catch and run, and he was wide open.
Well, the Tigers went 5 in the spread, and Moretti was the inside guy of the 3 on the left side, and he just ran it. There was no deep safety. They had 2 safeties, but they were split. Sullivan on 4th and 3 puts it right on the money to Anthony Moretti, and he scampers down the field to put the Tigers up 20-0 with 11:50 left here in the first half. Jeff Sexton on the attempted extra point.
Sexton 2 for 2 so far tonight. Low snap again. Good job by Jude Carlin to get it down. It is 21-0 Tigers, 11:50 to go first half. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Let's go St. X Tigers. This is Terry
Okay.
Miner's class.
John, Tony, Jim, and Todd, and 21-0 Tigers, and Jeff Sexton boots it just out of bounds at the 1-yard line. So PRP will start at the 35. 4th down play, Jim Brinkman, dissect it for me.
Oh, basically it's a spread out. One of the things that they seem to be exploiting is the sophomore Kelly at safety. And they're looking him off, and Moretti just basically had a wide channel all the way to the end zone. He was not touched, and nobody within 5 yards of him once the safety went over to the right side. So Coach Wallace was kind of, questioning the side judge here as to whether or not that was, in fact, a ball that went out of bounds, but it missed by about half a yard.
Yeah, we're pretty far up here, and I thought there was no question it went out of bounds. Handoff up the middle, hit originally behind the line of scrimmage, and staying behind the line of scrimmage is Kennebrew. Houlihan up off the bottom of the pile, but Cameron Sam's the guy that made sure he did not get past the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd and 10.
Well, some confusion in the backfield by the Panthers, and Soja kind of took a step, and it wasn't there, and he handed off, and just a disaster, basically. They got lucky that they got back to the line of scrimmage.
Good to see Anthony Moretti back getting some reps.
Yeah, and you want to get him in the fold, get him in the end zone, get his confidence back up.
Beasley goes wide to the left, along with Schultz in the slot that way. 2 receivers to the right. Now Schultz comes in motion that way. And everybody moved except for the center, who I will not throw under the proverbial bus, but it's a false start against. I was watching a NFL game the other night, and it said false start against 10 guys. And that's what that was.
Yeah, when the center still has the ball, he's going to tell everybody they went on the wrong snap count. He said, I knew what the snap count is. You all didn't. I'm the center. But, yeah, the
I
Panthers.
think you're gonna run the steps Monday after that one.
Yeah, 4 guys. When your 4 offensive linemen all come off the ball and the center has not snapped it yet, it's usually on center. And 100 years ago when I played a little quarterback, sometimes you walk up there and you go hut and they don't snap it and you go hut again because you forget too as the quarterback.
2nd and 15. They move it back to the 30. One-on-one, Beasley on the left side, and they're looking that way and throwing that way. And it's caught by Beasley, hit immediately by Andrew Zubagu. Got some help over there from Kyle Bowler, who dropped in cover, or Hale Bowler, who dropped in coverage. It's a gain of about 4 to the 34. It'll be 3rd down and 11 for the Panthers.
Yeah, just a quick throw it out to the wide receiver, and the Tigers do a nice job of defending it. So now the Panthers, who moved the ball, their possession just a little while ago, moved it all the way down and then turned it over. Turnovers are killing them as they trail 21-0 here with 10 minutes left in the first half, and it's 3rd and 11 from their own 34-yard line.
Tigers have Walsh and Andrioli in on the line of scrimmage now on the defensive line. And Daniel Toast is up there as well. 3rd down, straight drop, plenty of time. Throwing high and deep, and it looks like the receiver is wearing a St. X uniform through the arms of Harrison Pate. Delgado was the intended receiver, but well overshot, and Pate was closer than anybody.
Yeah, Delgado was 5 yards behind Pate, and I think it kind of fooled Pate. He was running the play, and he looked up, and he's like, oh, my gosh, the ball's coming. And he couldn't really position himself, so the ball goes out of bounds. And the last time the Panthers punted, the Tigers blocked it for a touchdown.
Yes, it was not good. Mail leads Butler 10-0 at halftime. We'll keep you updated on that. Goodman deep for the Tigers. Patrick Clary in to kick it away. Tigers look like they're setting up a return this time. Good snap. Low line drive going to be taken at the 30. Running left away from the defense is Goodman. He's across the 40, gets a great block to midfield, cuts back inside at the 40, spins and is tackled finally down near the 35-yard line. There is a flag on that hit at the 50-yard line. And
I thought it was a block in the back.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yes,
I was getting ready to argue, but since you're having shoulder surgery on Monday, I won't argue with you. I feel sorry.
No, the St. X blocker was trying to set him up, and he did not get his helmet on the front side of him, and every time it's going to come back. And what a good run back by Grant Goodman. He cut it up. When he got hit, he fought even for more yards. So a low line drive kick gives you an opportunity, but you
really
got
nice run back by the sophomore.
It really was, and Grant Goodman is a good player. And there ain't no doubt about that. But you got to get that helmet in front, and they did not. So now the Tigers will go back and they will start this drive leading 21-0 with 9:35 left in the first half from their own 31-yard line.
End of one over on Burnett. It's 22-0. Manuel leads Seneca after a quarter of play. 21-0 here. Tigers with the ball. 9:35 to go in the first half. Sullivan back in at quarterback. He's got Harris behind him on 1st and 10 at the 31. Give it to Miles Harris. Running left. Makes one man miss, but that's it. Good pursuit by the PRP Panthers. Kashawn Beasley has been around on both sides of the ball tonight. Sanjay Silvas in on the tackle as well. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, nice job outside by the PRP right side of their defense.
3 receivers to the right. Goodman is the widest. Borho tight end to the left. And Harris in the backfield with Sullivan. Keegan. Play action, throws to the right. It is in and out of the hands. Good coverage that time. It was intended for Lyons, but all over him was Tariq Lee and able to get a hand in and knock it away. It's 3rd and long.
Yeah, Tigers kind of, they cross 2 guys, and then the receiver stays on the line of scrimmage and runs outside. But great coverage by the Panthers. Maybe one Sullivan should have hung on to there.
3rd down 10. Moretti back in at running back. Tigers will send 2 receivers each way. Ball on the left hash. Sullivan takes a snap. Moretti drops out. Now he throws over the middle. It is incomplete through the hands of Andrew Zabagu. And that was going to be a 1st down and a flag down in the backfield. And we'll see what this is all about. The flag was out. There's a little scuffle after that, but the flag was down early. It's a personal foul, dead ball personal foul against PRP. So I don't think it's roughing the passer. Jim Brinkman, did you see what happened down there?
I would check the captains for PRP, the one that might be playing defensive line, and he was called home to the sideline.
Well, give him a little extra.
Yeah. So,
giving him the business, as they say, right?
Yeah. So giving him the business, that kind of reminds me, if Tommy Weber's been out here 70 years, I think Jimmy Gutterman, the white hat tonight, been out here for almost 60.
It's a race to retirement for those two guys.
Well, John.
And it keeps the drive alive. It's a killer.
You can't do that. It kills you.
We saw it in the Browns game a couple times last night. First down, Sullivan wants to throw, has a man, is caught at the 50, trying to break a tackle but unsuccessful. I think that is, I'm going to guess that's Grant Goodman. It is a sophomore who made the catch, got across midfield to about the 49-yard line. We'll give him 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5.
And that's what I like to see the Tigers do right there. Run those guys down a little bit, come back to the football. They're giving them a cushion. Catch the ball and then make a play with your feet.
3 to the left. The widest is Lewis Wolves for the Tigers. 2 men in the backfield, including Borho, the H-back, and Harris. Give it to Harris. Running left. Flag down. It's going to be an illegal formation. Miles breaks through at the 40, drops at about the 36. But flag on both sides of the field right on the snap, and that's an illegal formation against the Tigers.
And let me explain what an illegal formation is. You have to have 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. You can have as many. You can have 10 on the line of scrimmage, but you cannot have less than that.
Yeah, you can't have more than 4 in the backfield.
Yeah, and what happens sometimes is a receiver covers up somebody like the tight end, and then they'll do that. But we're going to have a timeout on the field here, John. What we got?
Injury timeout. 8:07 to go. We'll take one as well here in the first half. 21-0 Tigers. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
If you thought the only way to enjoy
I need a little ice in my drink.
About the 37-yard line. The medical staff from both teams taking a long look at Tariq Lee, and they are looking, I believe, at his right leg, and he seems to be in some discomfort down there, to say the least. DeSales has scored again. They lead Lexington Catholic 14-0 midway through the second quarter over at DeSales.
The male Bulldogs at last, and last look against the Butler Bears out in Shively. Third quarter, 10-0 male. Out on Shelbyville Road, Trinity in the second quarter leads 30-0 over J-Town. Central leads Henry County in the second quarter, 14-9. And the last we have on Manual out at the stadium, 22-0 over the Seneca Redhawks. Got to be careful. Got to call them
formerly known as Tiger Stadium over there, right?
Yes.
Mike Glazer used to call it Tiger Stadium.
Till we got Tiger Stadium.
Kurt White, Director of Admissions, will join me at halftime. He'll talk about future Tiger Night here. They've got Walkabout Wednesdays going on at school. We're getting closer and closer to open house as well, placement test. Sneaks up on you every year, but Kurt White from the Tiger Admissions, Director of Admissions, will join us at halftime and talk about everything future Tiger. So Lee able to walk off with a little help, but mostly on his own. Second down and 10 for the Tigers. After the penalty, it's a wide receiver screen. Caught by the second guy. It was tipped, and it is a lineman out in front of the inside the 40 to the 35-yard line. That is a legitimate catch, Tony.
It is legal play.
Evan Brown.
Evan Brown, the sophomore offensive tackle.
It went through the hands of the receiver. He did tip it into the air, And Brown, he was in the right place, right time.
So good athletic ability, too, heading down the sideline. He didn't hesitate. He's thinking 6 the whole way, but it was just a little quick screen to the wide receiver that went off the hands of the receiver, and the offensive lineman said, hey, I get a chance to run with the football.
So Evan Brown's now got a 16-yard reception and a timeout, I think, called by Pleasure Ridge Park. 7:40 to go first half. We'll take one as well. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
I'm Chris Burke,
wow.
former Major Leaguer and St. X.
That just John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. Miles Harris with a run up the middle. Gained about, we'll call it 6 yards down to the 33. And he went right behind Evan Brown. You catch a pass.
Oh, I got to run behind that guy.
Your
He's jacked
first
up.
career reception. He's jacked up.
Yeah.
He's pushing people around now. Second down, we'll call it 5. Sullivan wants to throw, does throw, and missed his intended receiver. Grant Goodman threw it behind him. And he was open. And that time, I think Goodman stopped, and Keegan thought he was going to proceed outside, but he stayed in his spot.
Yeah, I think that was just miscommunication between the wide receiver and the quarterback, and he overshoots him. But I tell you what, Evan Brown will be telling him in practice this week, I need to be playing tight end, Coach.
7:06 left here, first half, 21-0. Tigers lead it, 3rd and 5 at the PRP 33. So kind of in 4-down territory again here. Sullivan wants to throw. Now he'll run up the middle, dump it off, hit, and drop well short of the first down. That is Andrew Zabagu. Terrific play that time by Yates. And, boy, that's a terrible spot. He got hit at the 31, never got free from the tackler. This should be 4th and 2. Instead, it's going to be 4th and 7. They move it back to the 35. And Jim Brinkman will probably argue with me about that, but that's a bad spot. Forward progress was stopped at the 31.
I know he doesn't run the ball, but that was the time Keegan could have tucked it and took off running.
3 to the right, 1 to the left on 4th down at the 35. Tigers need to reach the 28 for a first down. Keegan going to throw deep down the middle, and it is incomplete or caught incomplete. Andrew Zabagu dove for it, and the back judge came through and said it hit the turf, and PRP will take over on downs at their own 35. Good throw, would have been a better catch. But PRP holds for once.
Well, they tried to hit the seam down the middle on it. I think if Sullivan would have had another second, he would have put the ball a little more air and got it to him. Threw it low. Andrew Zabagu goes to the ground, tries to make the play and cannot. And PRP will take over at their own 35. 6:19 left in the first half. Tigers lead 21-0.
It's a great effort by the cornerback turned receiver there. Just couldn't come up with it. Soldier wants to throw. He is hammered. The ball is loose. And Varga falls on it. Houlihan knocked it out. They're going to call it an incomplete pass. Terrible call once again. I had the binoculars on that one, Jimmy.
I did too.
Jimmy, help me with that one.
If the referee deems forward progress on the right arm, Coach Wallace just took out his gum and threw it across about 20 yards.
Well, sometimes when guys have been
that's all I needed to hear.
Sometimes when guys have been refereeing for 60 years, they don't see things correctly. But Michael Houlihan came from the outside, and
Soldier
never saw him from the blind side.
It wasn't the blind side, though. It was his front side.
Yeah, he was rolling the other way.
But he was looking left, and, boy, what a shot Houlihan put on him. Soldier back up on 2nd and 10, wants to throw, does throw through the hands of his intended receiver. Kind of overshot him. Number
Jaden
24.
Knox.
Knox was open down the sideline, but a lot of steam on that one from the quarterback, Soldier.
Yeah, the timing of the play was right. He had him between the defenders in the zone, but he just a little hard and a little high, and Knox didn't have much of an opportunity to try to catch that one. So 3rd and 10 from the 35. 6:09 left in the first half. Tigers up 21.
You got Brandon Bischoff in at cornerback now for the Tigers. Pate, Carlin, and Borman are still in that defensive backfield. You got to have somebody give Andrews Abagu a break once in a while. And James Taylor's out tonight. 3rd down and 10. Pressure up the middle. Hit as he throws. First guy through was Richard Bascom. And then
Patrick Owen was there at the end.
Had a hold of Soldier as he tried to throw the football to be 4th down.
And Houlihan was in there again, John. Houlihan has 4 sacks according to the KHSAA stats, and he's been a guy that's been a nice player for these Tigers at the outside linebacker.
He came on late last year.
He did.
We called his name quite a bit in the last half of the season, and he has continued it this season. And Alex Bascom, I did want to mention, picked up an offer from Morehead State this week, so congratulations to Alex Bascom. Panthers with 9 guys out there. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now they got 10.
You're supposed to have 11.
Well, you got 10 now, so you're getting there. And they're going to punt it away. Cleary boots it out of there. Nice high kick. Coming up is Goodman. Fair catch at the 36. And the Tigers will start right there. 1st and 10, 5:56 to go in the first half. 21-0. St. X with the lead. Keegan Sullivan, a couple touchdown passes. But I'm sure he's not happy with a couple of the passes in that last drive because he's a perfectionist.
He is, and he's a good player. And when you're a good player and you're a competitor, you're a little disappointed because I think he thought he had him. Butler scored on a 65-yard touchdown run by Eric Jackson to get them closer to the Male Bulldogs.
First touchdown Male's defense has allowed this season. 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 36. 3 receivers in the pattern. Moretti in the backfield. They give it to him. He pitches on the verse to Lyons. Back to Sullivan, and a screen to Moretti, who dropped it. And he had blockers in front of him, Tony.
Oh, my goodness. That's missing the wide open layup right there. They came with the reverse, pitched it back on the flea flicker to Sullivan. Ran one of the receivers, I think Goodman, straight down the field, but it wasn't going to Goodman. He cleared the wide receiver, and they had a wall set up, and Anthony Moretti runs before he has the football.
Yeah, if he catches that one, he can sort of pick which hole he wants to go through.
He's only got one guy 35 yards down the field that they have to block.
2nd and 10.
But it didn't happen, did it?
It did not. Goodman and Andrews Abagu to the right. Lyons and Wolves to the left on 2nd down. Screen set up here to Moretti. He's got the catch. He's got blockers again. Cuts inside at the 40, back out to the 45, fighting his way near midfield. He's got the 1st down, and it's going to be a gain of about 13. They'll spot it at the 49 and a 1st down for the Tigers. That was well set up.
And that was a great call coming off the outside screen, so they let PRP come thinking that they were going to pass the ball. They dump it off, and Moretti showed great patience on that run. He waited, and then he kind of moved in and out, John, and got it all the way out to almost midfield.
5.5 to play here in the half. Tigers have 2 timeouts left.
Now you take the shot after that play.
Goodman wide to the right. That's the wide side. 2 to the left. Sullivan with Moretti. Fake it to Anthony. Throws the slant, and it's knocked away. Good defense, I thought.
You thought so?
Getting there at about the same time as the ball was Miles Burbridge. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball at their own 49-yard line.
Like the call, though. They've got man coverage on the outside. They run the slant. Nice job by the corner to come up and break the play.
Same formation here. 3 to the left, and that is the short, make it 2 to the left. That's the short side of the field. Borho now slotted to the right with Goodman.
John, they still got man coverage.
Moretti in the backfield on 2nd and 10. Sullivan, straight drop. It's a little inside screen to Moretti. He makes one man miss at the 50 to the 45 and hauled down from behind. A terrific hustle tackle from Tariq Lee, who's back in the game. We saw him limp off earlier in this quarter. Moretti gets it inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line. We'll call it, or excuse me, the 44-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 7 and bring up 3rd and 3.
That play should have never worked. A missed tackle, and Moretti gets it up the field.
Sullivan in an empty backfield this time. 5 receivers in the pattern. Takes a snap. Look for the quick throw. It wasn't there. Now he's in trouble. Rolling left. Now back to the right. He throws late. Caught by Moretti. 1st down. pushed out of bounds by Beasley inside the 35. And that's all Keegan Sullivan, and a flag's going to be a late
Keegan
hit
Sullivan was, right.
on Keegan Sullivan as well. That play, Tony, all Keegan Sullivan. And he learned from when he threw it out of bounds earlier, I think.
Yeah, what he did is he spun to get away, and then he regrouped. And, boy, nice job of getting the ball down the field. Who'd you say made the catch?
Moretti made a great catch at his knees.
But the receivers came back to him. They came across the field. They didn't keep running their pattern, and Moretti catches it, and now they're going to add 15 on the end of that. Tigers moving here late in the first half. 4:33 left in the first half. Tigers lead 21-0 here at St. X High School.
So it's an 11-yard gain on the pass play to Moretti, and now 15 more tacked on. Will put the Tigers in the green zone. Brought to you by the Eye Care Institute and Dr. Brennan Green. 1st and 10 at the Panther 18-yard line.
But what a great job by Keegan Sullivan to keep that play alive. He should have been sacked.
Moretti is directly behind Sullivan here on 1st down. 2 receivers to the left. Elijah Byrne in as receiver this time, and Moretti takes a handoff, not much there, maybe a yard before he is hit and dropped. Nice tackle that time by Rico Beard, co-captain.
Well, you don't want to be an offensive lineman standing there next to the guy that tackled him and you're fixing your wristbands.
No gain, 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers. 2 receivers to the right. And Luke Wheatley is wide to the left. Moretti in the backfield along with Borjo in the H-back spot.
Post here's a touchdown.
It's a handoff to Moretti up the middle. That might be 6. He's dancing at the 12. Boy, I think if he goes right there, he's got a lot more room. He went back to the left and ran into some PRP defenders. Gets to the 11. It's a gain of 7 for the Tiger senior, 3rd and short.
Yeah, just like I said, run it up the middle, get 7 on that play. So we're down to 3:30 left here in the first half. Tigers knocking on the door, trying to make this 21-point lead larger.
Tigers look to the sideline. Moretti will stay in the backfield with Sullivan. Wheatley and Elijah Byrne split to the left. That's the short side. 1 receiver to the right, it's Goodman. Here's Moretti. Running right, cuts inside at the 10, carries tacklers to the 5, dives forward to about the 3-yard line.
Great job by Anthony Moretti. Got in behind Turner Ferris. I believe that was Evan Brown. Give those offensive linemen credit doing a nice job up front.
Got all the way to the 3-yard line.
But Moretti running with a purpose there.
Yes, gain of 8 for the senior, and it's 1st and goal at the 3. Tigers bring in another tight end. It's Baylor Bayline. So 2 tight ends left now on 1st and goal at the 3. Keegan still in the shotgun. Give it to Moretti. Running around that left end. Cuts inside. Dives, and he is in. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. Anthony Moretti from 3 yards out.
Well, they just go, they stretch it a little bit out to the left side. It's a handoff around the end, and Panthers had guys out there, but Anthony Moretti, not being denied, goes into the end zone, and now the Tigers lead with 2:41 left here in the first half. 27-0 St. X, and Jeff Sexton coming on to attempt his 4th extra point of the night.
And I hope you enjoyed Anthony Moretti's 2nd touchdown tonight. I'm not sure we'll see him again. Coming off the concussion from last week. Extra point is up and good. 28-0 Tigers, 2:41 to go in the half. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hey, St. X fans.
What was Bishop's name last year?
I had LASIK at
Oh, so good.
Hey, Jim, what was Bishop's first name?
It was Shannon. He
Oh,
goes
yeah,
by.
yeah. John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. Kickoff taken at the 1 by Beasley. He's hit short of the 20, fights his way across the 20
The other
but
Teggy.
not by much.
Cameron.
D'Antoni, Jake D'Antoni was the first to make contact. The other Teggy. I'm sure
Cameron
he likes
Teggy.
being called that.
Well,
the left-footed
there's
Teggy,
two
right?
Teggies, one doing the punting, and Cameron Teggy,
So new kickoff guy.
the sophomore, I believe. Yes, sophomore gets a chance to kick off.
So Beasley brought down at the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 PRP, 2:34 to go in the half. Trailing 28-0, one timeout left. We'll see how creative Tommy Williams wants to get here. Soja takes a snap, wants to throw. Straight drop, throws high, right side, and really it would have had to have been a perfect pass for Delgado. Peckinpah in the coverage, the linebacker, and he was with Delgado every step of the way.
Yeah, and that's one of those passes Tom Brady has to throw, and he has trouble throwing. You're trying to put air under it.
That's not Gronk out there.
That's a guy running towards the sideline with a defender on him. You're trying to put air under it, and actually it wasn't that bad a throw. He threw it where he needed to throw it, even though it was incomplete.
Incompletion stops the clock with 2:28 to go in the half.
John Mill leads Butler now 16-6 in the third quarter.
Two receivers each way. Kennebrew in the backfield. He'll stay in the block. And pressure coming. Hit. Getting away and throwing to an open man at the 30. Across the 40. Ball comes out as it's stripped out of there, and the Tigers have it. And that's a right call. He was not down. Not sure who got the hand on it.
Well, John, I'll tell you what.
But Walsh came back from his defensive line position and made the recovery of the fumble.
Mick Walsh he was the guy in the backfield that missed him. I was getting ready to say 92 was the guy chasing the quarterback, had him, he got away, and then the fumble. They complete the pass, they fumble it out the 40-yard line, and he recovers it for the Tigers with 2:16 left here in the first half. 28-0, and Tigers have an opportunity to really shut the door on the Panthers here if they can put it on the board.
And Keegan Sullivan will come in at quarterback, stay in at quarterback, I should say. Miles Harris in there with him. He sends Goodman to the right. And three receivers to the left, the wide side. Andrews Ogbagu's in the slot that way. Keep an eye on him here on first down. Sullivan takes a snap, wants to throw, looking deep. Now pulls it down, has a man, and threw it a little bit behind Goodman, or that's Lyons, excuse me. Nope, that's neither. That's Miles Harris. Just at the 30-yard line. Miles was open. Keegan was running right and threw it a little bit behind Harris.
Yeah, Sullivan did an excellent job again of keeping his composure. He moved out of the pocket to his right side. Then when he saw Miles Harris come across the field open, he just missed it. And that's one of those ones that you're floating away. Tell basketball shooters they got to square up. Same thing with the quarterback, and he kind of drifts and he throws it behind you.
Second down and 10. Clock stops with 2:10 on the incompletion. Tigers look confused. Harris in the backfield with Sullivan. Basically the same formation here. Keegan wants to throw. Three-man rush, and he is sacked. And that time the offensive line did not hold up, and we've got a Tiger down. Slow to get up is Brown, but he is back up on his feet now.
Keegan Sullivan gets up limping a little, not very happy about getting drilled from the weak side.
And here comes Douglas Bodine right away as Sullivan's had that ankle issue from a couple weeks ago, and Douglas Bodine will come in. It's always nice when you come in and, hey, get in there. It's 3rd and 17.
And we got the 3rd and 17 play, and go run it.
2 to the left, 2 to the right. Clock continues to run after the sack. Bodine setting up the screen, throws the screen, caught by Harris, but he's not going to get much. In fact, lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Moss came on the coverage. Now PRP going to take their final timeout. They want a chance with the football again, and I'm not sure that's a good idea with 1:20 to go.
All I can think is maybe they'll try to block a punt. But that time, even though it was a screen, Douglas Bodine kind of lofted the ball up in the air, and when that ball hung up in the air, it gave a PRP defender an opportunity to make a play. And you got to get that, even though they come, you got to get the football to them so they can get their blocking and get off. But Tigers still lead 28-0 here. 1:20 left in the first half.
Halftime, Lexington Christian Academy leads KCD 14-7, and Central now has come back. They lead Henry County 20-9 late in the first half. I wonder if that game's at the Hive tonight, Tony. I always love going to the Hive.
It's down there for the freshman game a week ago. Stopped at Indy's, got some chicken, went on and watched the game.
Cameron Teggy in to kick it away. Or is this Austin Teggy?
This is Austin.
I got you confused. Zach Kelly deep for the Panthers at his own 10-yard line. High kick, not deep. Fair catch by Kelly. Puts it on the ground. Tigers have it. That's why you don't call timeout. That'll be the 5th turnover by my count as Brandon Bischoff comes up with a fumble by Kelly. And the Tigers will start inside the green zone with 1:10 to play in the half. 5th turnover, Tony.
And I know Coach Williams is thinking,
why did I call timeout?
Why did I call a timeout? So now the Tigers have 1:10 left here in the half, and they will get the ball at the 17-yard line of the PRP Panthers.
1st and 10 in the green zone. Brought to you by the Eye Care Institute, Dr. Brennan Green. As we look to the sideline, Bodine will come out at quarterback. I do not see Sullivan up on the table, so that's a good sign.
He's standing right next to Coach Wallace.
Moretti in the backfield. I thought he would be done, but he's back in there, and he'll get the call. Bodine kept it actually up the middle. Touchdown, St. X Tigers.
Well,
great play fake to Moretti. Most of the Panthers went that way, and Bodine had one guy to beat.
You were going with Moretti, and then
sure
Bodine had the ball. So it's one of those. I don't know if it's probably just a run option, not an RPO. But he puts it and he rides Moretti to the outside, and when he pulls it out, Tigers put a big seam up the middle. So the timeout by Coach Williams comes back to haunt him, 34-0. Jeff Sexton on for the 5th time tonight. Good snap and a good hold. And
Kick is up and through. It's 35-0. Tigers with 1:04 left here in the 3rd quarter. Jimmy, update on Keegan Sullivan. Is he okay?
Yeah, I got to tell you a story. Keegan Sullivan came out after he got sacked on that 2nd down play. So they were unsuccessful on 3rd down, and Keegan Sullivan actually ran away from RJ, the trainer for St. X, and just hid from him. And RJ had to, scoot Patrick Owens away from him, who was kind of being his bouncer.
I like it.
And RJ is like, hey, what's going on? It's like, Patrick, get away, all right? I got to do what I got to do. But Keegan seems to be okay. He was disappointed that he didn't get put in at that drive. He actually, ripped off his chin strap. But I'm not sure, whether or not you chance, having him in with a 35-0 lead.
I will agree with that, but I will say this. He is in the ear of Kevin Wallace as we speak. The entire time Jim was talking to us, I had the binoculars. He's still over there next to Kevin Wallace. Coach, I'm good.
That's what you want out of your players. You want them to be in the game. You don't want them to go find a trainer.
Teggy kicks this one away. The left footer, high, deep. Beasley will go back and take it at the 1. Near the Panther sideline, he'll come back toward the middle of the field here. Gets across the 15. Across the 20, hit from behind, across the 30, spins out of a tackle, and is finally brought down just shy of the 40-yard line. Good return from Kayshawn Beasley with 52 seconds to go in the half.
Well, the Tiger special team coach will not be happy there because the outside guys have to keep their lanes and turn the guy in it. And when a guy like Beasley, looks like has great speed, gets to that corner, bad things happen. And that might not happen tonight, but that could happen on another night and really hurt you. 35-0 Tigers. PRP takes over their own 39. 51 seconds left in the 1st half.
And no timeouts.
This will be a handoff, I would assume, John. I'm wrong.
Maurice Soldier wants to throw, and he's not going to have a chance. It is Richard Bascom on the sack as he came through from his D-line position, defensive end spot. And Tigers going to let this one run out. You wonder if PRP is. They are in a hurry, Tony, to get to the line of scrimmage.
I don't know why, John.
I don't either. 30 seconds to go in the half, and now looks like Coach Tommy Williams slowed him down a little bit. He will call a play here on 2nd down and about 16 after the sack. This may be a handoff to Kennebrew. Nope, they want to throw it. Throwing it left. It is caught and run out of bounds at the original line of scrimmage.
11 seconds.
Or maybe he did not hold on. It was Delgado, and he did not hold on. It's an incomplete pass, and it's 3rd down and 16. I'm certainly going to run it here, Tony, because St. X is not going to call timeout.
And John, before I forget, looks like there's a really nice crowd here tonight for a night that it rained really hard. Future Tiger
night, baby.
It's one of our favorites, but a lot of people stay home. But a lot of people here. PRP gets ready to go,
and he wants to throw again. Throwing just dumps it off to Kennebrew, who's hit and dropped at the 37, and that'll do it. Didn't even, well, he got about 3 yards out of it, maybe 4. And that'll end the first half. We'll keep it right here and get some thoughts from the head coach, who's got to be pretty pleased with the 35-0 halftime lead in the first district game of the year.
Yeah, John, and Kennebrew's a good player. I mean, he just hasn't had an opportunity to do much, but you can tell, really nice player for the Panthers.
And the Tigers slowly heading off the field as Jim Brinkman, he in his Notre Dame shirt in a sprint to find head coach Kevin Wallace, and he got him. Jimmy?
All right, Coach, probably your best half of the year.
Turnovers have gone in our favor, and we have made some plays, and I'm pretty pleased with where we're at. We haven't had to play any of those wide receivers that were hurt, and obviously we're not going to now, so that'll help us maybe get healthy as we go down the road. But really pleased with how things have gone. I think we've been really good defensively.
Coach, also on the offensive side, it seems like the execution after those turnovers, the offense, I mean, Keegan looked very sharp in the first quarter.
Well, he's getting healthy. I mean, he's been throwing off one leg an awful lot, and we've been asking him to play and not be at 100%. And obviously you won't see him anymore tonight, but I think that as he gets healthier, he will exhibit to people the confidence that I've had in him since I got here. I mean, he's a good, talented player.
Coach, I'll let you get to your team tonight. All right.
All right, Jimmy, thanks. We will come back. iCare Institute halftime report is next. Kurt White, the Director of Admissions, will join us to talk all things future Tiger. He's got a lot going on. He probably wants to get home and get some sleep, but we'll talk to Kurt White about that. 35-0 Tigers lead the Panthers here at the break. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Because you've got Colton Bolden and JT Benson.
I'll take speed over Bolden any day of the week.
Are you saying that he's not fast?
I'm saying he's not as fast as that kid.
For the second time in a row, Oldham County starts near midfield. They started their last possession at their own 48. This time, they'll start at their own 46-yard line.
Hold on, I got a bone to pick with that. Why are you forever trying to get me in trouble with Jamie? Every time we do a South game, are you saying this? No, that's not what I'm saying. Forever, man. Keep laughing. Keep laughing.
Jamie slipped a 50 in my pocket.
Three wide to the right. Oldham hands off.
It's Lucas Jones.
Lucas Jones has the sideline. He's got the first down and run out of bounds on the far side, somewhere between the 35 and 40.
They're going to mark it with the 42.
So the 42-yard line, that gives him a gain of 12 yards.
And I tell you what, man.
Like, man, it's packed.
Yeah. Well, we had a delay in getting them in the gates because of some lightning in the area. But I tell you what, we had a line that took about 30 minutes getting through the gate. But it was unbelievable to get those guys. We gave out about 500 shirts, so it was a good crowd for us.
How long have you been awake today? Or this maybe this week? Have you been this late this week? Because that's a huge week for you.
It is a big week. It's all weeks right now are big. You know, this is the season for us to get guys interested, get guys on campus. We're in grade schools right now with grade school visits, so all of fall is busy, but it's good. We get to meet a lot of new faces and have a lot of fun along the way. So,
what do you want to talk about? Because you got Walkabout Wednesday, you got the open house is less than 2 months away,
Sure.
just about a month away, a little over a month. So, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, you know, my biggest thing is I just want to encourage everyone to get out to St. X and really see what the school is all about. You know, come see the great facilities that we have here. And the best way to do that, right now we've got our 8th graders who are on campus shadowing every day. You can go on to stx.com/shadow to see those dates that are available, to where you all can see exactly what the school day is like. You know, they come in, we do a tour of the building, we get them in the classrooms, and we want them to experience a normal day at St. X. Plus, hey, they get a great lunch. You know, free lunch for those guys, and trust me, that's the highlight of the day for them. You can't feed them enough on those days. So encourage them to get out to the shadow days. For parents, the Walkabout Wednesdays is a great event.
Cool. Really
it's
cool.
It is. It's an abbreviated shadow day. We do a tour through the school. We interrupt classrooms. We talk with faculty. We talk to the staff, and it really gives the parents a good perspective of what their sons are seeing on the shadow day. So a unique opportunity to come to campus, again, see the facilities and just see what St. X is all about. And at the end of the day, that's what I want. I want them to feel like this place is home, because it truly is. It is going to be home for their son for 4 years, and for our perspective and our future Tigers for 4 years, and it's a great experience.
Now, let's be honest here. You want 8th graders right now. Now, until the test is taken, the placement exam is over with, we're concentrating on 8th graders.
Right. Yeah, right now we are with the shadow days, but the best opportunity for anybody to get involved and to be on campus is through our open house date. That is on November the 11th from noon to 4, and that's open to any grade level, all family, anybody that wants to come, they're able to come. They get to experience the science labs and chemistry labs and projects, and they get to fly flight simulators, see all the coaches. Talk to Coach Wallace down there, and really just see all the opportunities. If there's you can't take advantage of an opportunity that's not presented to you, and that's exactly what we want them to do. We want them to come take advantage of that.
My favorite thing is the golf simulator. Can I come over and shadow the golf simulator?
Hey, you come on over anytime. I'll let you in.
I can't play you, though. I've seen your scores. I've heard. I'm not getting on the golf simulator with you.
That's all right. That's all right. We'd like to have a lot of fun over there, though. The golf team's doing a great job. They're having a good season and going into region next week. So it should be good.
There are still parents out there that are not technologically savvy. So give me the phone number that they can call and talk to Kurt White.
Absolutely. You can call my direct line. This is 502-634-2145. They get you right into the admissions office. You can speak with myself or Mrs. Detus. She's a great help, and she can get you set up with anything that you need admissions related or any questions that you might have about the school. So, again, that number is 502-634-2145.
You don't have to clean this mess up tonight, do you?
I do not. We're gonna have a bigger mess. We're gonna have the guys on the field getting autographs after the game.
They didn't go out before the game, which is what they usually do. Is that weather related?
Yeah, a little bit weather related. The field was a little slick, so we wanted to make sure that they were the safeties first. But we'll have them out there getting autographs at the end of the game and being able to mix it up with the players a little bit.
And the players love that too.
Oh, they love it. They are. I tell you what, they embrace that opportunity. They really take advantage of being that role model in that role for them. And I can't say enough about Coach Wallace right now. He is such a personable guy. He's looking forward to the night and to be able to talk with those guys as well. So he's doing a great job for us, and can't ask for any more.
I know you got to get back to work. You got about 6,000 kids you got to talk to. So
That's right.
I appreciate you taking a little time to come up and talk to us.
I appreciate it, John.
Kurt White, Director of Admissions. That number again is 502-634-2145, and he will get you set up, get your son set up with a shadow if it's an 8th grader, or in the new year, 7th graders, I believe, can shadow as well. Open house coming up, placement test. You can talk to Kurt about any of that stuff. Walkabout Wednesdays are great. And just give him a call or get on that website. And that website, again, is saintx.com, saintx.com/shadow. We'll take a break. 35-0 Tigers here at the half. You're listening to St. X High School Football, the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hey, St. X fans.
Thanks, man.
Kyle Keurig here.
No, it's fine.
I had LASIK at the Eye Care Institute.
To match your needs and your budget from a variety of colors and styles. Contact Klein Aluminum 502-776-8122.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to move away from the window.
All right, welcome back to Paul B. Cox Stadium. Halftime, the Colts are leading the visiting Lexington Catholic Knights by a score of 24-14. As it always happens, Terry Barney's posse, somebody has to stick their head in the window and ask for a selfie or an autograph.
That's just the way it is. Sometimes, you think you'd get tired of it after a while, but from time to time, it's all right.
Yeah, well, you're very distinguishable. People, they just.
I'm the only one up here with gray hair, it looks like.
Oh, that's not
wait a
true.
second. So I'm not hard to recognize.
All right, Terry. Well, I know you got a halftime stat sheet. Can you kind of go over a little bit for both teams and let us know how we got to a score of 24-14?
Sure. Kind of what we thought. We'll start with Lexington Catholic first. They get 36 yards on the ground, minus that 8. So they're only running the ball right at 30 yards. They've got 36 between 3 running backs. One of them has a minus 8. So having said that, they cannot run the ball against us. If they lined up, which was surprising, like we said earlier, that they were even attempt to run it since this guy can throw the ball. This Bo Allen, he's already got 156 yards passing. Obviously, the 45-yard long pass, and then another one was another 40 inside there. So he's actually halfway to his average. He's at 156. He's averaging about 3 and some change per game. We've sacked him one time. We're controlling the line of scrimmage when it comes to the run, that's for sure.
I'm really surprised at the receiving yards. I feel like I've called Nathan Schnurr's name about 15 times, but he's only getting credit for 6 catches for 79 yards and 1 touchdown.
Right, which is, in the long run, it's not bad for a first half. You get, if he doubles that up, of course, it's 12 for a game. That's a whole lot of catches for one receiver.
Right.
And then you start throwing this Tommy Knopp inside there, and these guys start to – again, this Allen can wing the ball. Sometimes he
Who or what? I'm going to tell you what. You look like you're taking 2 showers running across the field. It was great.
Back to throw. And the throw is to Moore, and it's tipped away by South Oldham. And Parker threw a pretty good ball that time, but batted away. And I was trying to catch the number.
It was Isaac. It was Isaac Lawley.
Was it?
Yep.
Okay.
And I tell you what, these officials are going to let these guys hand check because there was a whole lot of back and forth on that.
That's the way it's been all night.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, yeah. Let the receivers and the defensive backs battle. It makes the game more entertaining, and then control the middle of the field. And that sound about right, Ed?
So it'll be a 29-yard attempt for Rawls. 9:26 on the scoreboard, looking to make it a 2-score game. Good snap, hold, the kick is up, and Rawls boots it through. Boy, did you see that? That ball just blasted off his foot.
Yeah, it went pretty far, Mike.
That too.
Zone incomplete. Mail just took over on downs at their own 24. Butler was trying to take the lead. Moore Stadium. John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Todd Powers ready for the second half. PRP trailing St. X 35-0. The Ridge deferred. And Jeff Sexton will get the kickoff, and he boots it into the end zone. And that was the message, I think, Tony. The last two kickoffs by Teggy. Let's give Sexton another chance here, and he puts it 2 yards deep in the end zone. Message received.
Well, I think don't be so precise on your kickoffs. Just kick it and try to get it in that end zone.
So PRP will start at their own 20, 1st and 10. Quarterback is Maurice Soja, 6'2", 185-pound junior, and he has been under siege all night long. And they pretty much abandoned the running game there in that second quarter. He wants to throw on first down. Pressure comes, and he throws it at the feet of his intended receiver. And I think the pressure had a lot to do with that. Tremel Lee was the intended receiver at 2nd and 10.
Well, two guys that look like they're about the same size and same weight were both there together,
Well,
the Bascom twins.
Yeah, you can tell Varga, but you can't tell the difference between the Bascoms unless you see the number.
And they're 94 and 95. Thank goodness they're not 95 and 96.
Under center this time, for one of the few times, is Solja. Aaron Kinnebrew is the tailback. One receiver each way. And the ball's on the ground. And diving on top of it is Solja. It's going to be a loss back to the 18. Loss of a couple will bring up 3rd and 12.
Well, they go under center. And I think it was going to be a pass play. And it just pulls out a little early or not expecting the snap. And ball hits the ground. So not the start that Coach Tommy Williams wanted for the PRP Panthers coming out of halftime trailing by 35.
And Todd Powers can check me on this. I think they had 5 turnovers in the first half. And as he's supposed to do, Todd says I'm right. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 3rd down and 12. Step back, has time, now steps up into the pocket, in trouble, eludes one tackler, and he's going to get the first down out across the 35-yard line. Harrison Pate had a shot at him at about the 20, and Solja made him miss, and his feet were his friend as he got all the way out to the 37-yard line, a gain of 19.
Well, what happens, and it has happened to Harrison Pate, you got to stay on the guy's outside shoulder, because the worst thing could happen is he can cut it up the field, and that time he gets to the outside.
1st and 10 PRP, right hash mark. They send 2 receivers to the left and Delgado to the right. Now in motion comes Lee to the right. And wanting to throw again, pressure comes, steps up away from it, delivers the pass at the 38, and a quick tackle. That is Sam Borman coming up and laying the wood to Juden Knox. Gain of a couple to the 39. It'll be 2nd and 8. Good pursuit from Sam Borman.
Yeah, Tigers got good pressure and a nice job by Solja to step up and make a little bit out of nothing.
He does a good job, Tony, if he can avoid the rush of stepping up into the pocket. 2nd down and 8. Panthers send 3 or 4 receivers in the pattern. Beasley in motion. They fake it. Now they throw over the middle and hit while he's in the air is Lee, and he took a shot. Slow to get up. He's going to lay there for a second. Sam Borman going to help him up after he undercut him in the air at the 45. It's a gain of about 6, and it'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Panthers.
That's Lee when you go back to your quarterback. Say, next time, don't throw it so high. Hit me in the chest so you don't get me killed. And when he went up high to catch it, and Sam Borman just does what a safety does in that situation, comes low and then basically puts him on his back because he's 5 feet up in the air.
Tremel Lee did gain 6 yards out to the 45. 3rd down 2. Lee will go to the sideline after that play. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. And Kinnebrew in the backfield. In the shotgun. It's going to be Kinnebrew right up the gut, nowhere to go. That is Walsh. Mick Walsh, who made the hit in the hole at the 44-yard line. It's a loss of a yard. It'll bring up 4th down and 3.
Yeah, Walsh was standing there waiting for him. Boy, there was nowhere for Kinnebrew to go. Big 92, stepped right in there, got both arms around him, and stops him at the 44-yard line. So 9 minutes left here in the third. Tigers lead 35-0. PRP's got 4th and 3, and they're going to go for it from their own 44-yard line.
Right now you got Petrie, Andrioli, and Walsh on that front line. Houlihan steps up there as well on 4th down. Rolling left, throwing high and deep down the left side. Had a receiver, overshot him. It was Delgado. Pretty good coverage by Andrews Agbagu. He was about a yard behind him, but if that one's on the money, it could be 6. There's a flag on the play here, I believe. And we'll see what that's all about. It's holding against the Tigers.
That was thrown on the outside out there, so it's out on the 50-yard line, John, over by the PRP bench. So it might have been out on that play when they faked They did a little hitch and go right there, and the Tiger defender might have reached out to slow down the receiver on that play. And Coach Bart Bruner's over talking to one of the officials about what happened. So it will be a first down for the Panthers in the St. X territory.
10-yard penalty will move it down to the 46-yard line of St. X.
And John, Male has scored, I believe, again. 23-12 Male with about 9 minutes left in the football game.
Bulldogs trying to avenge that loss in the playoffs to Butler last year. Quick throw to the left, caught by Delgado. Gets a good block from one player, but not from the second player. And brought down after a gain of about 4 yards is Delgado. Hale Bowler able to fight off the block, make the tackle.
Well, they put 3 receivers out to the left. They get it out as quick as possible. Soja gets it out to the receiver, and then the Tigers do a great job in pursuit. Bowler the first one there, but there was about 3 Tigers doing their job on the outside.
It's a gain of 3 actually down to the Tiger 43-yard line. Good opening drive here in the second half from Pleasure Ridge Park. They've converted a 4th down, and they've converted a 3rd and long as well. Now it is 2nd down and 7 in Tiger territory. Bunch formation and a pitch to the right. Wanting to throw it is Yates. Dumps it off, almost picked off. Looking for Kennebrew. And Curtis Cotton had his sights on that one, Tony.
Yeah, the sophomore, the linebacker, Curtis Cotton. Boy, an interesting play, John. They pitched it, and they had nobody really down the field, and it was a short pass and almost turned into 6 points for Curtis Cotton. So 3rd and 7 for the Panthers.
It was a pitch to Yates, and he wanted to just throw a short little pass to Kennebrew.
Yeah, throw it down the field if you're going to do it.
I guess they were hoping the entire defense was going to converge on Yates, and Kennebrew would be left alone. 3rd down, quick throw to the left, through the hands of the intended receiver who was open, Jaden Knox.
Jaden Knox.
And it'll be 4th down, and, of course, they went for it in their own territory on 4th and 4. I can't imagine they won't go on 4th and 7 in St. X territory here.
Yeah, and you know what Coach Williams is doing here. They're down big 35-0 here midway through the 3rd quarter. Why not? Take your chances. But that time, Soja was a little frustrated with his receiver because he went about 7-8 yards down, turned, put the ball in the money, just missed it.
Beasley goes wide to the left. That's the short side. 3 to the right. Looking at Beasley, now running out of there for the first down marker. Hit short of it, maybe.
He is short.
They'll spot it at the 37. That's a yard shy of the first down. The Tigers will take over on downs. Andrew Zabagu was over there to knock him out of bounds, I believe, and the Tigers take over at their own 37. Needed 7, got 6.
And are they going to measure, or were they? Okay, I was going to say, no, they're moving the chains the other way. But actually, it looked like Soja was going to get the first down, and he ran towards the sideline. I think that's a situation you got to know where the chains are, and you got to take on a little contact and try to get that extra yard.
Yeah, turn it back in. 1st and 10 Tigers. It's Douglas Bodine in a quarterback for St. X. Miles Harris, I believe, is the running back. Borho in motion. Bodine keeps it, faked it to Harris. Or that's Logan Davis in there, excuse me. And Douglas will get a yard, and that'll be it up to the 38, 2nd down and 9.
Well, if I'm Douglas Bodine, I run the same play. I scored a touchdown.
Yeah, you did.
Touchdown on the end of the half, and that time it wasn't quite as open as it was the first time. So Tigers get a good 1 yard on first down from Douglas Bodine.
So it's Logan Davis in at running back. Lyons and Goodman wide to the right. Luke Wheatley is wide to the left, and Borho is still in there at tight end. 2nd down and 9. Bodine this time will give it to Davis. Up the middle. Big hole. Across the 50, 45, 40. Caught from behind at about the 35-yard line. And point of attack, Tony. Good blocking there by that offensive line for the Tigers.
And what Logan Davis does is he's more like Miles Harris. They just get through the hole as fast as they can. This guy's going to be really good next year. He's going to get an opportunity next year to probably be the lead back. And I like him a lot. Logan Davis, number 32.
Sanjay Silvas made the tackle at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Here's Davis again up the middle. Gets a good push there from Evan Brown. And Davis able to get 4 yards in a crowd down to the 31-yard line.
Tackle by number 52, Darian Cutaway.
Tigers at the line of scrimmage quickly here. They look to the sideline on 2nd down and 6.
Cole Happel in the game on the offensive line.
Two receivers to the left, one to the right. And Davis in the backfield on 2nd and 6 with Bodine. Douglas takes a snap, give it to Davis. Cuts inside across the 35, 30, 25, 20. And stopped at about the 19-yard line. Tigers in the green zone. Brought to you by the Eye Care Institute, Dr. Brendan Green. It's a gain of 12 and a first down for the Tigers and a whole bunch of Logan Davis here.
Look good running through there, boy. Getting through there in a hurry. Good vision. Getting up the field for halftime over at Trinity. What you expect? 37-0 Trinity over J-Town.
Rocks looking for their first win of the season, and they're going to get it in district play. Davis, no breather for the junior. And he will be faked to. Bodine in trouble. Hit behind the 20 and brought down at about the 21-yard line. Forward progress will give him the 21. It's a loss of a couple. And that time what Douglas Bodine didn't do was keep running, stay outside. He stopped and allowed the defense to come get him.
Yeah, I thought they played it very well. They played Logan Davis on the read, and then Bodine kept it, and he did not have much to do out there. I agree with you. He probably could have kept going wide, but I don't think he was going to get anything anyway. So 35-0 Tigers here in the third.
2nd down, 12 after the loss of 2. Back outside the green zone. Bodine with a slant, and he threw it into the ground. Lions looking for a penalty. It looked like Tariq Lee did have a hold of him, but the pass got to be a little closer if you want to get that call.
Yeah, he throws it into the ground basically. Good coverage by Lee, but boy, Eric Lyons thought he was held on the play. No flag. 3rd down, 12 Tigers from the PRP 21-yard line.
And Borho will go to the sideline. Tigers will bring Miles Harris in. And St. X will go with an empty backfield here on 3rd down and 12. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right.
Quarterback draw.
I think he throws it here. Nope, good call, Tony Burke. Quarterback draw, 15, outside to the 10, to the 5, cuts inside, and he's in. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. Douglas Bodine, his 2nd of the night, this one from 21 yards out.
Well, you could just tell the setup. The Panthers were split out wide. There was no safety. Linebackers were split. It just looked like the right play. Glad the Tiger coaching staff walked over here and asked me what play to call. And Tigers go in and they lead 41-0 with 5:28 left here in the third.
The next time they ask you what play to call will be the first time they ask you what play to call. Sexton in for the extra point. He's 5 for 5 tonight. Did I jinx him? No, I didn't. It is 42-0 Tigers. We're going to hit the running clock now. 5:22 to go, third quarter. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School Football, the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Hello, John Spears here for M&M.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
It's 9-17. Baby will be over by 9.
Have a feeling this is going to be a run-pass option.
It's going to text Al today. He said have a good.
One receiver top, one receiver bottom. It's a pitch to Antion Johnson. He's across the 50, looking for the sideline. At the 40, pushed out of bounds, right at the 40-yard line. Are they going to give him a first down? No, they're not. Looks like they're going to spot it at about the 39.
Nice run by Antion. He did what he could to get us a couple more yards. He knew he wouldn't go out of bounds. He hadn't quite get 10, but he just didn't quite make it there. But just a simple toss sweep. Pulled a guard on the play side. Got a lead blocker. We had him outnumbered.
A rainy start to the game has turned into a cool night. It feels really nice out there.
It's pretty comfortable when I went down.
Powers, 42-0, and Jimmy, we're going to have the running clock now.
So with that, have a good night, you guys.
You know it's quick, right?
I know it's really quick. So I'm talking with Tim Porco about trying to make sure that you get as many pictures as possible of the subs that we're going to try to get in here.
Oh, it's going to be fun trying to find numbers here. A line drive kick on the ground taken by Lee at the 25, and he never went to the ground, but he is held up by Jacob Exley, the backup linebacker. They'll spot it at the about the 30-yard line. It'll be a first down there for PRP. 42-0. Douglas Bodine with his second touchdown run of the night has given the Tigers a 6-touchdown lead and instituted the running clock. They mark it as the 32. First and 10 PRP. Maurice Soje still in a quarterback for the Panthers. This time it's a handoff right up the middle. Big hole for Kennebrew. He's got a first down and hauled down from behind. D'Antoni in on the tackle along with Kenneth Schaffner, excuse me. But all the way out to the 46-yard line, it's a gain of 14 for Aaron Kennebrew. First down, Panthers. They send 4 in the pattern here and wanting to throw. Pressure comes late, dumped off to Kennebrew. He is hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped. Toast was out there from his nose tackle position.
And Schaffner.
Schaffner was there as well. Schaffner actually first contact, and Toast finished it off. Gain of about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. 3:40 to go in the third quarter. One to the left, 3 to the right on 2nd and long here. Handoff Kennebrew, right side. He's got some room. Gets tackled just short of the 50-yard line. Good pursuit that time by the Tigers. It's Peckinpah who finished making the tackle. One of the defensive linemen, new defensive end, who slowed up Kennebrew was Ben Thompson, the senior. Spotted, we'll call it the 50. It's a 3rd and a long 7 here.
As the clock ticks down to 3 minutes here in the third, and it will move quickly from here on out.
Delgado and Lee go to the left. 2 receivers to the right on 3rd down. Straight drop, pressure up the middle. Throw over the defense, caught by Lee for a first down at the 41-yard line. He's hit and dropped immediately. Trying to get the name of that truck that tackled him. It was Drew Tedesco. But not until Trammell Lee, not to be confused with Tariq Lee, made the catch at the 40, 1st and 10 PRP.
Something tells me they're related.
Yeah. Full house backfield this time. Kennebrew in the back of it, and he'll get the call running left. Gets through the line of scrimmage, and he may go. 25, 20, 15, 10. Hit and dropped. Touchdown saving tackle from D'Antoni at the 5-yard line. It's a pickup of 35 and a 1st and goal for the Panthers.
Tigers rolling different numbers into the ball game.
Absolutely, as they should be.
With a 42-0 lead just here towards the end of the third quarter with about 1:30 left. 42-0 Tigers.
Panthers trying to get on the board here. District opener for both teams tonight. And Kennebrew finally getting a little run here in the second half. They sort of abandoned the run there midway through the first half. Wanting to throw his Soldier, does throw. It is knocked away. Good defensive play out there. Ball was intended for Trammell Lee, and there's D'Antoni again. Well, he picked up the fumbled punt earlier, the fumbled snap to the punter, and took it in for the touchdown, and we've called his name a bunch ever since then.
And he's a guy we're going to see probably start at that safety spot next year. He's a nice player, has pretty decent size on himself, 5'11", 180 pounds, so a guy that I think will be the heir apparent to Borman and Carlin at the safety spot.
You got Bryce Frazier in there as well for the Tigers. In that defensive backfield, Nathan Pike is in at safety on 2nd and 5. Here's Kennebrew, and he is going to dive into the end zone. Touchdown Panthers, Aaron Kennebrew from 5 yards out, and PRP is on the board.
Well, PRP does a nice job right there moving the football, and they move down the field, and they go in to score.
Wow, that's best analysis I've ever heard there.
Well, they just went down and got 6 points there with 34 seconds left here in the third quarter.
They did, and what surprised me, Tony, is Kennebrew might be their best player, and really they didn't use him in that first half. Now, you get down, and you kind of think you got to throw a lot, and but they were not running the ball at all in that second quarter.
No, and the Tigers, when their first group was in there, was pretty much shutting them down. And with that, when you got the second and third stringers in there, it's a whole lot easier with the football. But the Panthers do get on the board with 34 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Extra point was good. It's 42-7. Do you think the rules should change that when you get it back within 36, you can stop doing the running clock?
I always thought that, but when you really think about it, when it gets to be 42-0, no, because normally the points are scored against second and third stringers.
Jim, how are the refs doing down there tonight?
Well, as always, the refs are doing an outstanding job. You bring up an interesting question, John, about it dropping below. In basketball, once it does drop below, then the running clock does stop.
Really?
Yes.
I did not realize that.
Hey, Jimmy, one thing we really didn't talk about tonight was the weather down there and the crowd. It looks like it was a really nice crowd tonight, and the weather after the rain came through, it looked like a very pleasant night.
Yeah, even John Elin made an appearance in the stands tonight, and Jake Elin actually got a Future Tiger T-shirt. So it's you never know, it could be a future Tiger there. But as to the weather and the crowd, yeah, it's it was a very, very well attended, and then and then it's time to get the young kids home.
Kick is away. It is a low, kind of like the first kickoff of the night, goes out of bounds about the 30-yard line, and St. X will start at their own 35-yard line.
I think my first drive the other day.
That's not good. And we'll see. We're going to see a lot of new numbers out there, Tony. Let's see if Douglas Bodine is going to lead the offense or not.
I always get confused on the running clock. How long? What's 36?
36. It is. It has run down to. I don't know why they stopped it at 6.2. I don't know what Steve's doing up here.
They stop on a kickoff.
Spotted at the 35, 1st and 10 for the Tigers, and now they roll it. Now it stops at 3.4.
I guess when the referee picks the ball up, you stop it again.
Steve just having a little fun over there with the clock. It'll stop on penalties. It'll stop on injuries, and that's about it.
Just started.
Third quarter's over. 42-7 Tigers. We'll be back with the final 12 minutes. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
First and 15 for Lexington Catholic. Empty backfield for Allen. 2 receivers to the near side, 3 to the far side. Allen has it, perusing the field, looking, starts to scramble, finds some daylight, and there's a flag on the play. They've done really good protecting Allen, but sometimes when you have that much time, there's a reason for it.
They didn't have a single receiver come back for the ball because he, like you just said, maybe they're scooting the flag over.
Oh, okay.
Back at St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. 42-7 as we head into the fourth quarter. St. X leading PRP. Clock is of the running variety now. And first play of the quarter, Trey Waters, the senior, with the carry. Lost a couple. Luke Spears now in at quarterback, no relation. 5'10", 145-pound junior. And he's got a 2nd and 12 at his own 33-yard line.
Tucker Grieve in at center.
Logan Davis back in at running back now. Andy Anderson is the wide receiver to the right, 2 split to the left. On 2nd down, Spears will give it to Davis, running left. Back to the original line of scrimmage, not much more, maybe a yard or 2. Good tackle by Darius Yates.
I love to get the offensive lineman in there.
I know you do.
Blaine Probus in the game. Mayan Conjetti.
Wolves is in at wide receiver again, wide to the left. I mentioned
Gardner
Anderson,
on that offensive line.
Teddy Masterson in at wide receiver as well on 3rd down and 9. Rolling right, Spears in trouble, throws high and deep, and has a man, but undershot him a little bit. Double coverage out there. It was intended, I believe, for Masterson, and fell incomplete. The Tigers will punt it away. 10-17. Clock still running here in the fourth quarter.
Well, here on Future Tiger Night, looks like we got a football game down there for about 50 kids playing in the dark as the pass goes incomplete as the clock keeps rolling. But Tigers will run a lot of guys in and out on offense and defense. You know what next Friday night is, John?
October.
Yes.
No, that's not October. September 28th.
Have a lot going on this week with St. X Trinity Week starting.
We got soccer, we got cross country, we got JV and varsity, JV and freshman football. We got everything.
Got it all. Get out and watch.
JV and freshman games will be Monday and Thursday, respectively, at Trinity. Punt is away. It's actually a new punter in there as well, and a fair catch down at the 32-yard line. And that is not Andre Coleman. It's number 9, but it's not Andre Coleman. Panthers take over at the 32, 1st and 10, 9:13 to go. Clock's still moving. Boy, when you get the running clock, Tony, it don't take long.
It really does. And unfortunately, that these guys, coaches want to get playing time for these guys, but it just goes so fast. And you're trying to get so many guys in a game.
Soljay is still in at quarterback. Kennebrew still in at running back. And I imagine they'll try to give Kennebrew some more carries. They're going to throw it on first down and short on the pass to an open receiver. It was intended for Remeko Mucker. Easy for you to say. Be careful how you say that. Incomplete, just at his feet. Couldn't come up with it. It'll be 2nd and 10 with 8:30 to go. And I like the fake that time, Tony, from Soljay, because he did a little hop.
Did the old
tried to sell it?
Yeah, kind of hop like I'm getting out of the way, and he's trying to hide the ball in his hip.
Put it in his hip pocket. Yeah, nice move. And Kennebrew's back there going, just give me the ball against these third stringers, I can run. And he will get the carry here. Running right, he's got about 4 yards before he is hit and dropped. Good pursuit that time by the Tigers. Get a couple of the numbers here.
In there.
Colin Mack, the linebacker, made in on the stop.
Drew Tedesco again in there, but Fusenegger was in there.
Michael Huff as well came up from his cornerback position to help out.
Sawyer Mason in the game on the defensive line.
2nd down, or make it the 3rd down now, and after a gain of 4, we'll call it 3rd and 6. 2 receivers each way. Wanting to throw, throwing short. A one-hopper headed for Delgado. Coverage on the play by Brandon Chang, the linebacker.
Chang and Vince Myers in there at outside linebacker.
4th down. Panthers look like they're going to go with 7:12 on a running clock. Kennebrew will head to the sideline, kind of limp to the sideline, as Yates will come in to take his spot on 4th down and 6 for the Panthers. Straight drop, wanting to throw. Now it's breaking down. Throws late, incomplete behind his receiver. Tigers will take over. We'll take a break with 6:40 to go. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Come be a coach for a day. There's no better way to experience what the sales is all about. Shadow and see how DeSales offers the most personal, individually focused high school experience that so many students prefer. We invite 7th and 8th grade boys to accompany a freshman or sophomore through a typical DeSales school day. Meet students, teachers, and enjoy a great lunch. It's a fun and informative day on our campus. For more information, call 368-6519.
Next, John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Todd Powers. The clock has whittled down to 5.5 minutes to play, and on first down, Luke Spears hits Andy Anderson with a little. Well, it's a jet sweep, but it's actually a completed pass because he didn't hand it to him. He shoveled it to him. And Anderson able to rumble down to the 26, 27-yard line to bring up a 2nd and 1. Spears in it for his second series at quarterback. Logan Davis in there at running back. Anderson split wide to the right, 2 receivers to the left on 2nd and short. And here's Davis. Gets the first down, not much more as he's inside the 25 and gang tackled. Finally went down at about the 22-yard line. Give him 4, make it 5, and a first down for the Tigers with 4:40 to play.
Final out in Shavley. Male beats Butler 30-12 tonight. So Male gets their first district win and Butler gets their first district loss. And the Crimsons of Manual non-district game against Seneca, they win 50-0 tonight.
So the
over
Tigers,
at Old Tiger Stadium.
There you go. Tigers and Bulldogs will be tied for first after week 1 of district play, which we could kind of predict.
And we're not good at that.
No, not at all. Spears in the shotgun. Takes a snap, a whistle. He was going to keep it that time. And a flag and a false start against the Tigers with 4:04 to play.
Well, how is it calling a game when you're saying Spears at quarterback? Because we know you never played that.
Very strange.
Usually you would say.
I played left out.
Nice block by Spears, or he would jumped on the pile, Spears.
I'm very comfortable up here away from all the action.
You were a star football player, weren't you, over at St. Therese?
Star is a stretch. It is a big stretch. I was on the scout team in grade school. That's never good. 5 receivers in the pattern for Spears here on 1st and 15. Quarterback draw, running left, gets a good block at the line of scrimmage, and then Kayshawn Beasley just throws him to the ground. Loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and long with 3.5 to play.
Well, Luke Spears is listed at 5'10", 145, so he's not really a big husky guy. His dad's a big guy, but he hasn't filled into the body yet, so he took that hit pretty hard. When you get hit by a big guy and you're 145, sometimes you take it pretty hard. But
Beasley's 6 foot 200, and Kayshawn Beasley's had a long night, Tony.
He's a nice player.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes both ways. He does a lot of good things for the Panthers and Coach Tommy Williams.
2nd down, 16 for the Tigers at the 28 of Pleasure Ridge Park. Under 3 to play here. This time it's Davis on the handoff, trying to get out around the right end, and he does find some room. Pushed out of bounds just short of the 20-yard line. In fact, they're going to give him the 20, I believe. Gain of 8, and brings up a manageable 3rd and 8. Good hard running from Logan Davis that time. And I think you're right, Tony. Logan Davis, a name we're going to talk about a lot next year.
Yeah, he's a good-looking player, and 6 foot 180 running back with good speed and good instincts.
St. X in no hurry here with 2:20 to play. They get the call in, and then they wait for the back judge to hold up his hand before they snap the ball. That way they know there's 5 seconds left before the play clock is over. Screen pass, drop. Trying to run before he caught it was Anderson. And it'll bring up 4th down at the 20-yard line. Do you send Sexton out, give him a shot at a field goal here? Or do you send somebody else out and give him a shot at a field goal? It looks like the latter. Cameron Teggy going to get a shot here, the left-footed kicker. Holder is Blakely Tanner, the wide receiver, backup wide receiver. From the 27, plenty of leg.
Wow, a lot of leg.
From Teggy, and it is good. 37-yard field goal, 1:18 to play. 45-7 Tigers. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
Imagine flipping in the air on
Wow.
the Super Quad bungee.
37 yards.
What do you think Coach Williams thinks? John, this is going to sound weird, but next week Trinity just won 65-0. Tigers up 45-7. Clock is running. It's going to run out here, but next week the 4-2 Tigers will take on the 1-5 Trinity Shamrocks.
Wow. Just wow. Kick is away, and the kick is taken by Beasley. Spinning out of a tackle at the 20, but not going to get much more than that. Actually, the 3-2 Tigers.
Correct.
Will take on the 1-5 Shamrocks. Trinity has not had their bye
You
week
are
yet.
correct.
Yeah. That's even worse. That sounds even worse. 45-7, 20 seconds to go. PRP going to try to get a playoff here, I believe.
Why not?
Maurice Sojas has gone from start to finish here in at quarterback, and he wants to throw it. And he wants to throw it deep, and he's going to throw it deep. Nope, just dumps it off. Caught by Kennebrew at the 30, running toward the PRP sideline. Now he cuts back, center of the field. He wants the touchdown, Tony, and he's got some blockers with him at the 30, 25, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Pleasure Ridge Park, 75 yards from Sojay to Kennebrew.
That kills your stats if you're the St. X defense, but there was a lot of guys in there that have not even been in the game, so just an opportunity for guys to be in the game and get the chance to be on the field, but a touchdown for PRP to make it 45-13. And that's going to do it, John.
I don't think they're going to kick the extra point, and that'll do it. We'll take a break, come back with more. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.
In my house, watching the game is a big deal.
Or excuse me, 45-13. St. X with a win over PRP tonight to improve to 3-2, 1-0 in district play. We'll take one more quick break, come back and hear from the head coach after tonight's victory and looking ahead to Trinity as well. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Bissig Impact Sports Radio Network.